Like, you know what I'm saying? The way I'm living my life is the way I'm gonna live my life. And that's how I'm gonna live it. I'm gonna be happy doing it. I'm gonna live happy, I'm gonna die happy. And the thing is, to me, is like if people just focus on their energy, their life, they wouldn't be so damn miserable.
All right, guys, today we got a special guest, one of the most humble, genuine, and down to earth brothers I've met from the industry, Mr. Jon Connor, aka the artist, Yahn Freeman.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yes, yes. Thank you for that. Yes, the artist Yahn Freeman, Jon Connor. Yes, yes. Let's make it happen, man. It is a pleasure. It's good to be back, man.
It's been about 8 months since our last interview, man. How
Yeah,
you
it's been a
been?
little, man. It's been a little minute, man. You know, we always keep it transparent. So, man, I had some health issues. You know, I'm just telling all my peoples out there, man. You know, if you when you hit them 30s and them 40s, man, it get real. You know what I mean? You gotta take care of yourself. And my body had just like shut down. Man, I was in my bed for like 4 or 5 months, just recovering and having to get,
What?
yeah. So it was crazy. So just now, like I was telling you off air, this is day 11 of me getting back into my workout kick and getting everything back situated. But make sure y'all take care of yourselves health wise, man. I have another homeboy too who actually I know a couple people that are suffering from like diabetes and stuff like that, and I having to go through surgeries and stuff. So I just want to start it off by saying, man, you know, we say health is wealth, but make sure y'all take care of yourselves, man. Like especially the older you get, you know, just make sure you eat right, keep your body moving. You know what I mean? But don't overwhelm yourself as well. Don't overstimulate yourself. Or don't overwhelm yourself. Don't put too much more on yourself than you can handle, and always be honest with yourself about what you can handle. So that's my little my health tips for right now, man.
But yo, John, like you shown pictures of like back in the day, like you had got real unhealthy and gained a lot of weight, but you lost a
Hmm.
lot of weight and got real
Hmm.
fit, right? So
Hmm.
what happened, man?
So now we back. I'm back on that journey. It was just like out of the blue, out of nowhere. Like it was like I don't even like really talking about it, but it felt like it felt like stroke symptoms. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, got you.
Even when I was like, you know what I'm saying, like lifting and doing all that, like it just came out of nowhere. And I went to the doctor and all of that, and they said it was those could be symptoms of exhaustion. So it was like for a little minute, man, for like 4 or 5 months, I was just laying down. So now I'm back on the journey to lose the weight again. It's crazy, man. Life is like that
Oh
sometimes,
man,
huh?
we just so glad to hear that you're doing well now.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, we definitely keep you in my prayers, my bro, for real, man.
Thank
Um,
you.
a lot has changed since our last, interview. You've
Hmm.
officially changed your name to the artist
Yes.
Yahn Freeman, right? On
Yes,
December
sir.
31st, 2025, you posted on Instagram, one chapter ends as one begins. What made you want to make this change?
Honestly, at the time, what was so funny about it, bro, was um, well, I guess I'll start with so Jon Connor wasn't my first MC name. So my first MC name was Deuce-O. That was the name that they called me in my hood in Flint. Deucey, Deuce-O, Deuce. I was Deuce. That's who I was. But there got to a point in time um when Duso, I started to feel like I outgrew Duso. I wanted to, you know, get free from everything that I had associated with that name. I felt like it was so much stuff that had happened as far as like the high school portion of like me creating music. And this is around the time, this is like 2003, 2004. I'm about to go to school. I'm going to a new city, a new state. I'm starting over. I'm about to move to Orlando, go to Full Sail. And so it was like I just wanted to let go of everything from my past, and I really wanted to have a fresh start. I didn't want um anybody to lay claim to whatever successes or failures were about to come my way. So I'm like, I don't want people to be like, yeah, that's do so. I remember when I used to help him with this, or I did this for do so. It's like, no, I wanted to start over and just be Jon Connor, something completely new that no one else was attached to or tied to. And well, the funny thing is, my dog, Chop, man, it started feeling like it started feeling that way with the name Jon Connor. Like it was like the more people would call me it, like it was just like I feel like Jon Connor is associated with a lot of stuff that I feel like I've outgrown at this point. Like for me, it's like, yeah, I feel like Jon Connor was the dude that was signed to Aftermath. Jon Connor is the dude that was on a double XL freshman cover. Jon Connor is the dude that did the best in the world and all these things. And then it started feeling like a old pair of pants that I felt like was too tight. I couldn't fit them no more, you know? So I started feeling like it was time to change. And going forward in my life, I felt the same way, like what I felt would do so, because it's like I don't want whatever failures or successes come next in this next part of my life. I don't want it to be, well, that's because Dr. Dre did this for him. No, Dr. Dre didn't do nothing for the artist Yahn Freeman. Well, that's because this person helped Nah, I want a whole completely new name, a clean slate, a fresh start. That whatever failures or successes I have is 100% on me, a clean slate, a fresh start to do whatever I need to do, and no one gets the blame or the credit for it but me.
Man, so it started to feel like a weight was on you from that name.
As a fact. Yeah, it did. Like it almost like yeah, like where I started yeah, when people would call me Jon Connor, it just didn't even feel right anymore. Like it didn't, I won't say that. I'll say it didn't feel like what it used to feel like when I first gave myself that name. I felt like there was a burden to that name now. Not that I care. Like, cause if you still call me like, what's up, Connor, or whatever, you know, even how you introduce me, the artist Yahn Freeman, also known as Jon Connor, I don't mind that. It just was for me to be able to shed that professionally and to start moving forward and go in another direction. Like I'm not that I'm not that much of a prick that I'm, "Oh, call me Jon Connor." It's like, no, I get it. Like it is, and people still call me Deuce to this day. So is I did. I started feeling that. I started feeling like the name didn't represent what I originally intended for it to represent. I feel like there was so many things as my time as Jon Connor that kind of started to overshadow what I would like to do in the future going forward. So it's just like, yeah, I had to get that up off me, man.
Yeah, man, I can only imagine. Like, it's crazy. Like, our the names that we choose, right, or are
Hmm.
given at birth and stuff. It There's so much that gets attached to it. So much
Hmm.
history that over time it's like you got to shed it almost like a skin, like you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes,
And
man.
then it's just funny because on the post you actually said like, "Yo, I'm not gonna punch you if you call me Jon Connors."
Yeah, man, I'm not. Yeah, I'm cool with it. It's just to me, Jon Connor now is just another nickname, another alias that I got, and it's always something that I could go back to. I might do a Jan Freeman versus Jon Connor album. Who knows? It's a lot of
Oh,
you feel me. It's a lot of things I could play with creatively. With doing that, and also just to let people know, I always want my journey to be like a reflection to inspire other people of what they can do in their own life. It's like don't be shackled down to anything. It's not the name Jon Connor that made me special. It's the guy, Jan. I chose that. So just like I chose that and I made equity in that name, I could leave that behind and create something else and create equity in this name or equity in this brand. There's not the name, it's the person behind it. So I hope that that resonates with people as well. Like, don't feel like you have to get stuck like in a certain season of your life if you truly have feel like you've outgrown it. It's many people like look how many times, and I know it's probably taboo to reference him, but Puffy was Puff Daddy, Puffy, P Diddy, Diddy, like love, like you know what I'm saying. 2 Chains was Titty Boy, 2 Chains, like you know what I mean. It's like we all have these we all go through stages of evolution in our lives. So and I think sometimes people get scared of change. I know people, bro, that's scared to change their phone number, let alone their name. I make it a habit to change my phone number a lot because I never like to get tied down to anything. I don't ever want to feel like anything defines me other than what I say defines me. If it starts not, it's like now you have to live up to whatever people's perception of that name is or whatever. It's like, yo, when I start feeling like that, where being that entity isn't fun anymore, then I'm gonna come up with some whole other shit, and I'm gonna come up with something new and do that.
you know what I love about what you just said is that it really ties into something that you wrote recently on Facebook. Let go of and block everything that doesn't contribute to your growth and progress. Life has
Yes.
enough obstacles as it is. Embrace the tough parts of life. That's where growth happens. Wisdom is on the other side of every challenge. Like, that really ties into what you're saying. Is just I really like the fact that you're saying it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Like I'm not
Yes.
trying to age you, but you did just turn 41, this year, right?
Let's go. You see,
Yeah,
I wear these grades like a badge of honor, bro.
right.
Yes, 41. Yes.
But it's great that a lot of times in life we're kind of like, damn, it's too late. I've already been doing this career for too long, or I already been associated with this name for too long. I might as well just
Mm.
keep it. You like, nah, like I'm gonna do what I want to do,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that's
For
great. That's
sure.
inspiring, man.
Man, thank you for saying that. Yeah, I hope it does. I hope it motivates and inspires people. Like, it's not the name, it's you. You're the person that's being creative. You're the one that's having these ideas. And there's a really good Bob Proctor interview that I watched one time. And he was saying, he asked the person, he said, most people don't know who they are. He said, who are you? And then the person said their name. And then Bob Proctor said, no, that's not who you are. That's a name. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, and you, but who are you? Like, who define you? And it's like I like that because it's like at any given moment, if I didn't feel like being Jan Freeman, I could be whatever I want to be, and that's just the point that I want to drive home. Like, you can literally be whatever you want to be, and I think sometimes when we get called a name over and over and over again, we get binded and shackled to whatever over your past has started to define that name. Now it's not even you anymore. It's you're living up to whatever all of these sequence of events are and past things and all that. And you feel like now you're not being you, you're being what the perception of that name is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, don't lose yourself. I dig who else did that? Kanye by just being Ye. You know what I'm saying? It's like I get it. Like I totally understand it. I definitely got to that point where I just, man, Chop, I started feeling that way where it was like, nah, this ain't, I don't know. It's time to, I don't know. It's time for another change. We got to switch to Jersey again.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you, man. So you released 5 albums this year so far,
Uh-huh.
right?
So far,
Right.
yeah.
Weren't you planning to release one each month for the entire year?
Yeah, yeah. The next three, because now it's we left off on five and we in July. But like I say, because of the health issue, like it kind of set me back a little bit. So I'm gonna release six, seven, and eight, I believe, at the same time. So that so that it'll be eight by the time we get to August. Yeah.
But you had some issues too with like your engineer, right? Like what
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. My engineer, he had health issues, a different type of health issue, like that came out of the blue, where he had to get rushed to the hospital. That's why I'm really, telling people take care of yourself. I feel great now. I'm good. I'm on the road to recovery. I'm feeling good. I'm back working out. My engineer, it was the same thing, like out the blue, just like health issues out the blue. So put a um, I had to put a post on my Instagram. Excuse me. I had to put a post on my Instagram and see if somebody could mix the album. And that actually was a blessing as well though, because as my other engineer, shouts to my dog, Jay McDowell, a Nocturnal Sounds, that's my go-to, that's my engineer. But I met this cat out of Detroit. His name is Maestro Williams. He mixed the Four album and he did such a phenomenal job. Like I was reading a review on the Four project and like the fact that the review mentioned how well mixed that particular project was. And I was shocked too when it came back because we just met over Instagram when I put that post up and he like, yo, I would be honored. I'd love to do it. And now I'm gonna be working with him in the future. So now I still have my engineer, Jay McDowell, but now also I got a whole other mix engineer, Maestro Williams, who's phenomenal out of Detroit at what he does. So yeah, it was dope. Everything happened as it was supposed to.
Isn't it crazy how life works, man?
Insane, man. Insane. Insane. And if you look, I want people, please go listen to the Artist Yahn Freeman 4. Man, matter of fact, listen to all five of
All
them.
five, all five.
Yeah, please listen to all five. But four is the one that Maestro Williams did, and um, the other four. See, that gets confusing. The album four is mixed by Maestro Williams. The prior four projects are mixed by Jay McDowell.
Right, right. So
Now,
like, okay, for this process of putting out so much music, what has it
Um,
been like for you? I mean, like, how were you able to put out so much music even with dealing with being in the bed for 4 or 5 months, man?
it was, man, I was fortunate, Chop, man. I was fortunate that I had recorded a lot of music before that happened to me. You know what I'm saying? So it was like it was all I already had everything scheduled and ready to come out. You know what I mean? So to the public, it was like he's still dropping. Meanwhile, I'm recovering in the bed for 4 months.
That's crazy. All right, well,
Man,
which one of the five is your favorite?
mm, wow. I would say it's between and I they all my babies, bro. So I know you sometimes, bro, I don't like that type of question because I don't wanna jade people, y'all, or mess people's opinion up of what they particularly like.
Right.
You know what? I want to remain a true artist and say art is subjective, and once I give the art to the public, it's theirs to judge, not me. So I love all of them. I love all of them equally, I'll say.
All right. You know what I
No,
love too is the
what's up?
covers.
Thank
Man,
you.
the fact that you chose like different like pictures of you as a kid for each one of them. That is
Thank
super
you.
dope. What made you decide to do that? Was it like kind of like a Nas Illmatic type of style or what?
Well, for me, and I don't know if because you had Biggie who did a baby cover, you had Wayne has done baby covers, Nas. What and I wonder what their inspiration was for doing it. If I ever run across any of those cats, I'm gonna ask them like what was going on in their lives that made them want to do it. What it was for me was it's like you're listening to this music and it's all coming from the perspective. I'm still that same kid. And you look at the pictures of me as a kid, I was just a regular innocent kid like anybody else. So what happened in this kid's life that made him be the guy that you're listening to? It's like what transformed him to have these deep things to say, or what like music is me putting into words my real life experiences. So it's like that child went through everything that you hear me rapping about. And it's like, and now that I'm an adult, I look at children, I'll be like, damn, that's sad that kids have to go through these things. But I guess, it's all a part of the learning and growing process. But that was what was going through my mind where it was like people get caught up in you're an artist, you're a rapper, these names and these titles. Man, I was a kid just like you was a kid, just like everybody else. I happen to have a talent to make music, but I think sometimes artists get dehumanized, and I want to make people remember, hey, I'm just a person, dog, just like you. Whenever you sitting there writing your fucked up comments on Instagram about me or Reddit or whatever the fuck, dog, I'm a person just like you. And all these people, like, that's why, like, I don't know if we talked about it last time, but I hate the word celebrity. I hate the word famous because I feel like those words give people a right to dehumanize other people. Like to call somebody a celebrity means you get to tear them down, be in a business, like say just nasty things about them. So these albums was like, yo, just remember, I'm just a person, and this is what this kid went through. This kid grew up to be this guy that's saying all of this stuff. So when you look at me or when you talk to me, it's still him in there. It's still me, that little kid with the innocent eyes at the birthday party. It's just I've been through a lot of shit to have to grow up and mature. But I think that's what the focus was, to remind people that when you listen to artists, man, they grew up, they had a life just like you. They're regular normal people. They just happen to be talented in this particular area. That doesn't give you the right to dehumanize them, you know?
What I love about what you're saying too is that the reminder, right, that all of us at one time were children, right? And we all go through things.
Yes.
And when you wonder like how somebody turned out to be the way that they are, it's based off of the trauma, the things that they go through in life. And that's a great reminder of like, look, you may dislike this person, but at one time they were innocent.
You feel me? Like, think about that, bro. At one time, bro, and I don't remember where I saw this at because I never like to take credit for quotes that I know I didn't think of, but I heard this somewhere one time, and they were like, think about that. When you're a child, everybody's nice to you. Oh, come, give me a hug, let me hold you. What do you want to eat? The world is catering to you. And then around like your teenage years or something like that, it's not like that no more. And then it becomes like this fair game to just treat everybody like a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? And that is like weird to me. That is like
Yeah, you punk
when
ass kid.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? This little motherfucker coming over here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, it was just hugs and love a second ago, and now you can't stand the sight of me. When did
Right.
this change? When did somebody else said too? They said human beings are the only species. Is that human beings have a knack for normalizing the most incredible things. Like, think about that. I'm still an incredible person. You're still an incredible person. We're just older now, but we still add value to the world. What? Because we're older, we deserve to, like I say, just like I look at social media and stuff sometimes, and not even just about me. I look at what people say to each other. I look at, like I say, Reddit when people say to each other. I look at YouTube comments and all of this stuff, and it's just like, at what age do we decide that a human being is not worth courtesy, not worth compassion, not worth empathy? When does that happen? When do we all make that decision?
Yeah, it's like as you get older, people start to lack more empathy and patience and
Hmm.
understanding for each other, right? That's a really
Yep,
unfortunate thing, man. It's
it
definitely
is.
unfortunate.
Yeah, so that was the cause of the my baby pictures, and I'm gonna keep on putting a guilt trip on everybody about putting about putting my baby pictures on the cover. Like, yes, when you talk shit about me, you're talking shit to this kid right here, man.
You should be like, I still got my inner child that I'm trying to heal, right?
You feel me? I'm still out here healing, man. What do you want? What I want to hit him with? What more do you want from me? That's what I that's what I want to hit
Oh,
him
you
with,
hitting them
man.
with the Tyrese?
You feel me? I do. What more do you want from me, dog? I feel Tyrese on that. I forgot that was Tyrese who said that shit. But
Yeah.
yeah,
He said
yeah.
$13,000 a month.
Hey, I felt him. I felt him. Men love the Tyrese, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yo, now one of the reasons you said you wanted to release so much music so quickly is because you felt the current state of the world requires the kind of schedule of speaking on things in a timely fashion. And I get it, man, because like XYZ done happened, like after this interview wrap, like I bet you like XYZ done happen, and I'll be like, man, I wish I had the chance to ask John this question. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
as
yeah,
this interview is airing one clip per day, I'll be like, damn, this other thing doesn't happen. I didn't get to ask him, you know? So
yeah.
like, talk to us about that, about like you releasing music, so not being tied to like a record label and having to be so restricted.
Well, yeah. To the first part, yes, I wanted to release music to match the state of urgency that I feel like the world is in. I feel like it's really, really bad right now. I feel like you know, can I even word it or explain it? I feel the world has been like on a gradual decline of what we just talked about, like empathy or valuing each other. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's getting worse and worse and worse by the day. So for me, it was like, yeah, I'm releasing music to match the state of urgency that I feel like we living in the world right now. I feel like as an artist, that's what you are. You take whatever's going on in the world around you, whether you're a painter, whether you're an actor. I feel like it's our responsibility to find a creative way to express the way we feel about what's going on around us, and giving it back to the world so they can digest it and hopefully take it home, and it impacts them to hopefully want to become a better person. Like, if a painter paints a beautiful picture, but it's of like a war, but it'll hit us all in a way where it's like, damn, that's kind of what we live in. And it'll make us think and like make us want to change. I think filmmakers, when they create movies, they're a reflection of what we're going through at the time. And when it's pointed back at us, it should make us think like, damn, like maybe I should take something out of this movie other than just entertainment. Maybe I should treat people better, or this is what's happening in the world, whatever the movie may be about. So just me as an artist, man, yeah, I feel like just with race relations and gender relations and just work countries, and it's like everybody's going crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel that I'm an empath, like, and I feel those things. Like I'm the type of cat, man. Like every time I see a homeless person like on the street, I want to give them some money. So when I see bigger issues of like injustice or there's bigger issues where humans are just being just I don't know, just nasty and just I don't know, inhumane to each other. It makes me want to do something. And I feel like music is my superpower. So it's like, I'm gonna put the Iron Man suit on, get in the studio, and hopefully if through my passion, through my aggression, through this music, like it'll change somebody's mind out there and make them treat somebody at least a little bit better. And there was a second part to the question you had too, right?
Yeah, you're able to do this now because you're not tied down
Hmm.
to a record label, right? A record
Yeah.
deal.
See, bro, and that's the beautiful thing. That's why I was always made to be an independent artist, man. I love making a living for music. That's cool, right? However, um for me, it's more so about helping people. My currency is when people hit me in the DMs and they tell me I changed their life or saved their life or they was going through a depression or about to kill themselves or something like that. And they say my music helped them to not do that. Man, think about how powerful that is. That's a child who still has their mother or their father just because I got in the studio and made some music and said some words. That's powerful. So it's like being on a major label is like taking that away from me is like taking my soul out of me. To tell me I can't help people with music, that's insane to me. Like I don't even know. I don't know how I did it for so long when I was on Aftermath Interscope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was literally driving me crazy because it's like I don't at a certain point, I just need to help people. I want to put music out to help people. I don't care what the perception is. I don't care if this one didn't chart, this one didn't do this, I'm not looking at it like that. Especially like now with these number albums I'm doing, I'm looking at it like, bro, and I don't know if we said this in the last time we talked, but man, when I'm making music now, I'm making music for 3 generations from now. I understand how lost this generation is right now. I'm not even make this music ain't even for them. They already gone. I feel like it's too late for a lot of people of this generation. They're so brainwashed by social media, negative imagery. They like robot zombie drones or something like that. So it's literally like I'm making kids for I'm making music for their kids, the ones that are gonna grow up and be like, how did the world get like this? Like when the world is 100% idiocracy slash Terminator, like, and they're gonna say, how did this happen? Hopefully they find my music like the Book of Eli or something like that, and they listen and be like, yo, like, like, and they hear my music and they be like, yo, it was a dude in 2024, 25. He was trying to tell everybody, and they'll go research. And then hopefully it'll help them to change their future or try to restore humanity to some sort of normality. And when I mean normality, that's loving each other, respecting each other, accepting each other's differences, not going to war over stupid stuff, not letting billionaires with a bunch of power control the way you live your daily life. Like, hopefully, they find my music and it'll give them answers to how the world they live in the future got so bad, man.
You know what I like about what you're saying is it kind of reminds me of the term evergreen content. It's like
Mm,
it's always going to be good no matter what, right? Like it may
mm,
not be like a lot of times when I do these interviews and I get people's stories, I know like, okay, like it wasn't controversial. They didn't really say anything crazy, but who's going to appreciate it? It may not chart right now, may not do numbers right now, but eventually somebody may
no,
find it. Or
that's
YouTube may
dope.
suggest it like later on, right? And I feel like the same thing with you being an independent artist. It's like because you own the music, you may not see the immediate fruits of the labor. You know what I mean? But like
Hmm.
eventually, you may get that, right? And it's like it's
Absolutely,
great that you own it and that you're able to do whatever you want with it, and somebody's gonna benefit from it. Maybe not now,
man.
but like you said, eventually. You know?
You said that's called evergreen content.
Yeah,
That's dope. That's exactly what it is, man. It remind me. There's some movies that are like that. Like
exactly.
I remember watching a documentary on Robert Townsend talking about the 5 heartbeats. When that movie came out, it didn't do well. Like he for a long time thought that movie like he failed. But like in the black community, the movie The 5 Heartbeats is like a staple. Like that's like that we ride or die for 5 heartbeats. But it wasn't until later, the way the story goes is when it came out in theaters, it didn't do as well as projected. But then when it came out to be rented on video, it just popped off. So like you said, sometime it's greater later. And that's how I approach the music. Whereas like, okay, I know that what I'm saying and what I'm doing is needed. And when the world is ready for it, like when the masses are ready for it, and if they do their research and look it up, it'll be right there waiting for them.
Exactly, man. Exactly. How do you deal with things in your life like politics? Like, do you vote? Do you judge people off who they vote for? Or like you try to stay away from it? You pay attention to it? Like, we're such in a like a society now where it's so divided, right? Based off of that thing.
I don't vote. I haven't voted since whatever year it was that George Bush won, but Gore really won. But then they said no, he didn't. Bush won. Like so, I really felt um it really it really messed me up. Like, dang, so my vote really don't count. Like because it was like Al Gore really won. And then they was like, no, he didn't. George Bush won. And I'm like, okay, so I quit. And that was also at a time because I think I was 18 at the time when I was still very uneducated on just a lot of things in the world. So, at the time I bought into the whole, yeah, vote, da da da. Da. For me, man, no, I don't vote. I don't get into politics. My politics is God. My politics is spirituality. Treat people how you want to be treated. Respect and accept people for their differences. You know what I'm saying? Just like I feel like politics, bro, i- it's confusing something that doesn't need to be confusing. Me and you, we probably grew up two totally different ways, but we're coming together out of mutual love and respect so we can you see eye to eye. It's like, why isn't that as simple? I seen somebody just said that about like the World Cup, right? They're like the World Cup is an example that literally we go to war because the billionaires aren't agreeing on stuff. Because if everybody can come together and agree on soccer, that we all just want to cheer for our team and wear t-shirts and we got our tribalism or whatever, but there's nobody like wanting to kill anybody over the soccer game. Everybody can come together and appreciate and respect each other. So I think politics add a whole lot of shit that it makes something so simple as just treat others like you want to be treated. It adds so many things into it that makes it complicated. It's like let people live their lives the way they want to live their lives, respect other people, you know what I mean? Treat people how you want to be treated. That's my politics. You did.
I feel like there's gonna be people that watch this and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you an idealist? The way that you explaining it, it can't be that
Mm.
simple." Yada
But see,
yada.
but here's the thing. But it is though. So anybody in the comments, you child, bro, you know how to get me turned, bro. You about to get, you about to get another, you about to get another rant, bro. Last time, what was it about Hulk Hogan,
Yeah, yeah.
bro? Life is that simple. If you see some like, because honestly, when we get off of this interview, what you do in your personal life doesn't affect me. So why do I care whether you believe in abortion or not, or whether you and your family, whatever, like whether why, like you feel me, like issues like that. Like, why is that my concern? That's between you and whatever, like higher power you believe in. Why should I care what you think about like if taxes should be higher or lower? Why should I care who you vote for, bro? That doesn't affect me like on a daily basis. So to me, it's like it is that simple. We let things that have nothing to do with us affect us. In essence, that's what social media is. A bunch of people giving their energy to a bunch of shit that don't got nothing to do with them. And if somebody says that in the comments, oh, you're an idealist, I say you a fucking mark. Like you the same person that's letting the things I say, you're giving energy to what the fuck? Why does what I say matter to you? It shouldn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? The way I'm living my life is the way I'm gonna live my life. And that's how I'm gonna live it. I'm gonna be happy doing it. I'm gonna live happy, I'm gonna die happy. And the thing is, to me, is like if people just focus on their energy, their life, they wouldn't be so damn miserable. So it's like for those people, oh, life isn't that simple. Yes, it is. Even if you look at it on a bigger level, why the fuck does the United States care what's going on in the Middle East? Why? It's their business. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all shouldn't be going over there going to war with people over religious stuff and whatever the case may be, but you are because we in other people's business. I don't know. And I'm not, like I say, I'm not gonna go too deep in that route because I haven't done all of my research to like be educated on why certain people go to war. But all of it to me sounds like people being involved in other people's fucking business. It's like on a personal, individual level. Like if everybody just focused on their household and took care of home, they'd be all right. If every country just took care of home, they'd be all right. Like you know what I'm saying, and just respected everybody's space and everybody just respected what each individual person or country or community was doing, then we'd be all right. So I think that humans, like I say, humans are too fucking smart for their own good. Humans are so smart that they're dumb. They've outsmarted themselves. It's like you've complicated the most simple thing. Life literally is wake up, eat what you want, figure out what you want to do in life, chase that, become successful at it, accomplish your goal, then get another goal and accomplish that. Stay out of other people's business. You know, find you, if you're a woman, find you a guy. If you're a guy, go find you a girl. Hopefully y'all live happily ever after. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Procreate, do what y'all do. That's life. Why do we care? Like, why does everybody care about what everybody else thinks? Because I personally don't. I think that's why, bro, I'm so free when I say the shit that I say, because I genuinely don't care. I genuinely don't give a fuck. Like I don't. I 9 times out of 10, like yeah, I'll stop it there. I just really just don't care, and I don't think anyone should. I don't. I think you should do as long as you're respecting the other person. Then I think that you should just mind your own business and enjoy your life.
You see, this is why I love interviewing you and having conversations with you, right? Because
Mhm.
it's like genuinely you understand you can have a respectful conversation with somebody even if you disagree. Like say
Absolutely.
like you could absolutely have a conversation with someone that is prejudiced or whatever and be like,
Yes.
okay, I understand you don't like black people or you don't like this person, whatever and stuff. Why don't you like that? I disagree with you. That's how you feel. I can't change how you feel. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But we can walk away from this conversation with new information or
Yes.
whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
because it's based off of, are we going to respect each other in this conversation right now? I can't control what you do when you leave, right? I can't control whatever. And that's the problem, is that so many people are always so fixated on trying to control what everybody else is doing. Like,
Hmm.
that's how you drive yourself crazy. You're not going to be able to
Yeah.
do that. That's why also, like, I don't pay attention to politics personally, because I don't feel it's my place to tell somebody who you should vote for. Like, that's not my job,
Yeah.
bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And okay, like this whole thing that people are on, I think both sides are just as bad as each other. They don't give a fuck about the regular person, bro. They don't
Correct.
care about us. You know,
At all.
they as bad as each other in different ways. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And then not just that, but
Yes.
it's like, okay, this whole thing of like, oh, you want to say that this person's an automatic racist because they voted for Trump or they like Trump. We live in a bipartisan system where the Green Party's never going to win. So what are people going to do? They're going to vote for whoever is pushing their policy, their number one
Yep.
thing that they go for, because that's the only choice that they got, right? If I
Yep.
believe in, I want less taxes or whatever, I'm going to go for this candidate, even if I think he's an asshole.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So how can I judge somebody and be like, "Oh, you an automatic racist because you voted for this guy?" You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
that's what's so crazy. Like, I judge people off of my interactions with them, what I've
Yes.
seen, the way that they
Yes.
treated me, and have I seen or heard that they did something fucked up? No. Then you know what I mean? Like, how can I be God, bro? I can't be God. You know? Like that's
Bro.
what's so crazy to me, man. Like,
We 100%, bro. We here. I 100% agree. You said a lot of things that I've thought or said in other conversations, man. We 100% on the same page about that. Like, yes, I treat people, I base people on how I interacted with them when I met them, my personal experience with them. And you are 100% correct. I can have a conversation with anybody, like, and walk away and be like, that's an interesting perspective. All right. You know, I'm gonna keep it moving. You know, I don't let it like eat me from the inside and like just why is it start seething and you know what I mean? Nah, it's like, okay, everybody got their opinion. And if I sat down with a racist and they talk, and I was like, yo, because you know what's funny, man? Like, well, let me finish that train of thought. But if I sat down with a racist, like, of course I'm black, so I'm gonna be okay. But even in that, like, see, I was just about to say, of course I'm black, so I'm gonna feel some type of way. But no, I don't even think I would. Like, I wouldn't, because I really like I can't explain the level of not giving a fuck that I have. If I sat down with a racist and I knew he was racist, I would genuinely just ask, like, so why are you racist? Like, what don't you like about black people? And then he'd say whatever he want, and I'm in control. I'm in control of my emotions, so I'm listening to him, and then I would tell him my perspective. And then if we agreed to disagree, I'd walk the fuck away. You know what I'm saying? That's your business. Long as you ain't fucking trying to do me no bodily harm or nobody I love or care about, you could feel however you want to feel. Everybody in the world is not gonna like you. Everybody in the world is not gonna hate you. You can't it's a quote that I heard a long time ago. He said, I don't know the key to success, but I know the key to failure is trying to please everybody. You're never going to be able to please everybody. It's impossible. I think Jay-Z is one of the greatest rappers of all time, but there's people that think Jay-Z is terrible. I like I think The Dark Knight is the best Batman movie of all time. My sister personally still thinks the Michael Keaton Batman 89 is the best. You're never going to get people to agree all on the same thing. So when you make peace with that, when you make peace with that, should be all right.
I see. That's what I'm talking about. It's like people get so offended and their ego gets in the way, right? It's like almost like if you don't agree with them, then it's a personal attack on them. It's like, no, bro, like you're
Yeah.
not gonna agree with your
Yep.
fucking wife or whoever, your husband or
Exactly.
whatever. So like
Hey.
it's just like
Yeah.
I don't know why people take it so personal. I think it's cool to have conversations with people that have different opinion because I could walk away with information that I maybe didn't know, right? Or
Mhm.
I could be strengthened in my opinion based off of whatever. But
Mhm.
I don't take it personal like that. It's just I don't know, bro. I got too much shit in my life to worry about. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like,
Then to take it, bro, it was a lot. Like, I remember when the Kendrick and Drake and J. Cole thing was going on, and the tribalism about that, and how serious people was taking it, or how even when sometimes when people do like a verses, like, you know what I mean? It's like those things that's supposed to be fun. Like verses is supposed to be fun, and people get super serious about it. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't got the energy to invest in all of that type of stuff. Like I totally, bruh. It's funny as hell because it's like I really just like I understand that everybody's not gonna like everything. Like no one can make me mad. Like if somebody was like, Jon Connor, I don't like I remember there'd be times like when I would like date a girl or something like that, and she might be like, I know who you are, but don't be offended. I've never listened to your music. Why the fuck would I be offended? I'm not offended. Like, why that's arrogant of me to assume that everybody that I come in contact with knows who I am or has listened to my music. That's arrogant to think like those type of things. People are weird. I seen you ever seen when Jay-Z was on the train next to that old lady and she didn't know who he was? And that's Jay-Z. So it's like, that's the world we live in. Don't be arrogant as to think that your perspective is the only perspective. It's your perspective. That's what it is. And sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but everybody's entitled to their opinion.
exactly. So there's a lot going on in hip hop that I really want to get your thoughts on.
Mhm.
The reason why I wanted to get your thoughts on this specifically is because you're highly intellectual, and I think most people are approaching these topics from a more salacious standpoint versus
Yeah.
a academic kind of point of view. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
Lupe Fiasco has been making a lot of headlines talking about how battle rappers are the best rappers. He said technical bar writing is the foundation of lyricism. So things like punchlines, setups, wordplay, similes, metaphors, battle style writing is what triumphs everything. Like, do you agree that that's the foundation of lyricism?
To me, g- I break the statement down into pieces. The first part of the statement that battle rappers are the best rappers when it comes to like lyricism,
Yeah,
I 100% agree. Because as a recording artist, I still have to find a way to make it catchy. I still have to find a way to format it in a way where you could sing along, da 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 da. Like you know what I'm saying? So my focus is several things. If I'm writing a record, I'm thinking about my vocal tone. I'm thinking about my cadence. I'm thinking about the point I'm trying to get across. I'm staying in the, I'm staying
you're in a
on
different
top.
pocket.
Yeah, you in a whole different pocket. Battle rappers get to 100% focus on what they're saying, and that's it. They're not restrained by and confined by a beat or music. So they can put 100% of their energy. They could flip cadences and have like double entendres and metaphors within. So that first part of the statement, I do believe that's true. I do think the best lyricists, period, like are battle rappers. Yes. So I do think that, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. As I think about it, absolutely. I had a conversation with Daylight one time, which y'all should go check it out. Me and Daylight got a song. It's by Every Day. It's on my joint Food for the Soul. Dang, I did a song with more battle rappers. Me and Averb got a song on my project SOS2. Feel like I did something else with me and Hollow the Dom. We was gonna do something anyway. But yes, battle rappers are the best lyricists, 100%. Now, what was the rest of the statement?
He said technical bar writing is the foundation of lyricism. So like punchlines, setups, wordplay, similes, metaphors. That's like, the number one things.
I would agree with that too. I would agree
Okay.
with that too. Yeah.
So then this transformed into the whole analysis that got a lot of people upset. He said, basically, there are hundreds of rappers that are technically
Uh-huh.
more lyrical than Kendrick.
Uh-huh.
So that's what got the internet into an uproar. But fans were arguing that storytelling, character creation, themes, emotional writing, perspective, song structure, and albums are, factor into lyricism as well. Do you think those things factor into lyricism, or that's more of like artists?
They factor into it, but I think Lupe's statement was like he said that the foundation though, right?
Right.
Was right. So there's a foundation is here. All those other things are on top of that. You feel me? Those are layers on top of the foundation. So yeah, those things play a part, but Lupe's statement of saying that, you know, that what the bars and the intricacies of the punchlines and all that, that's the foundation of it. I 100% agree with that. And I think that those other things do play a part in it. But I do also agree with Lupe saying that the foundation is, I don't want to misquote him. What he said was the foundation.
The foundation was the like the punchlines, the metaphors, and the
Hmm.
similes, those type of things. The
Yeah,
technical,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yes, I think, yes, that's the foundation, and everything else you said were layers on top of the foundation that contribute to.
Right. So then when he got to talking, he said that like when you analyze somebody like Nas on a lyricism standpoint, he wouldn't rank high as someone like Chino XL that really focused on punchlines. And
Mhm.
that was really about like the technical aspect. But like Nas is just like so revered in hip hop. So a lot of people got offended because
Okay.
we talking more like bodies of work, and but he was saying like more like when you strip away the beat and you're just talking like just the lyrics, like the
Mhm.
acapella and everything.
You want to know why people arguing about this, bro?
Why?
So, all right, I had an epiphany a little while ago, right? So, follow me because this shit about to go deep. I had a thought one day, and I said, "Yo, we all got taste buds on our tongues, right? Right? But okay, let's say somebody had a magnifying glass to my tongue and a magnifying glass to your tongue. There's gonna be certain taste buds on your tongue that are smaller on your tongue and on the area where some are bigger on mine, right? And then there's going to be some that are bigger on my tongue where on your tongue is smaller. So this means we're literally tasting things differently because you have certain taste buds that are triggered by sour, certain that are triggered by salty, certain, right? So that means me and you can eat the same pizza and we're literally tasting it differently. So when you say it's nasty and I say it's good, you're not wrong because the way your tongue is structured, it's literally tasting the pizza differently than I'm tasting it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's not just specified to taste buds and how we taste things. That's how we hear things too. We all
Mm.
are humans receiving things from a different perspective. You might like a song because it reminds you of something your mom used to play when you was a kid. Might dislike a song for that, like, because that sound happened when I was in sixth grade or whatever, and now I don't like it. So we're literally hearing songs differently. That's why I think it's genius whoever came up with like social media, because you can get people to disagree all day because they understand perspective. They understand that little tongue theory I just told you. Whereas like me and you could listen to the same song, but you're listening to it, and the first thing you might hear is the beat. I listen to it, the first thing I might hear is the lyrics, or there might be a hi-hat in the beat that annoys me, and you're listening to the kick drum and you're not even paying attention to that hi-hat. So you understand we're literally listening to the same song differently. So now it can keep people arguing for years. It can keep talking about is Nas this, is Lupe that. Well, everybody's gonna disagree, right? Because you got groups of people who hear music a certain way where Lupe Fiasco fits their taste palette. You know, as far as what their ears are hearing. Certain people, Kendrick Lamar fits their taste palette of what they want to listen to. And everybody's arguing because they're not understanding that individually we're all so different, that just like the tongue and the taste buds, our ears are different too. Our brains are different too. The things like there might be a side of somebody's brain that's more creative. So they're drawn to a Kendrick Lamar. But then there's people whose brains more are focused on like the musician side of it. It's so many different ways to break down music, and to just break these things down and say 1 + 1 = 2. You're wrong if you agree with Lupe, and you're wrong if you agree with Kendrick, and you're wrong if you agree. It's like that's ridiculous, and it's gonna keep us all arguing forever on social media. Those people are genius. They getting paid because they understand all of these people are hearing these songs, this art differently. So they're gonna argue forever because they haven't figured it out yet. That they're all literally hearing the same music differently.
This is why I love interviewing you, man. You always bring a different perspective that other people do not think about. This is what I'm talking. Yo, let me get a cheer for that, man. Come on, man. Yo. No, I'm being
Thanks, man.
serious. I'm being serious, man. Because for real though, like it's people get so offended over it, right? But like I really like the way that you broke it down. And especially because like we're all raised differently, trained
Yes.
differently, programmed differently, right? And
Hmm.
people value different things in music. Some people love
Hmm.
substance. They focusing
Yeah.
on, they really value on like Tupac's message and his music, yada yada. Some people value the flow. They like Biggie's flow, or you know, those type of things. It's everyone is gonna, and that's why when you have these lists, these top 50 lists and whatever, or top
Hmm.
10 best rappers of all time, people are always gonna argue because
Yeah.
nobody's metrics is the same.
Oh, and then whoever's covered up with these things is gonna continue to get paid, continue to get engagements, continue because they know that we gonna argue about the shit because we literally are perceiving the same thing just differently.
So Mickey Fax, he said punchlines are important, but argued allegory, personification, narrative, symbolism, literary devices, and composition are also important. Do you agree with that?
Yes, and shouts to my dog Mickey Fax. But he's on one of the number albums. I think he on number 2. I think we got to enjoy this called "Faux Life for Real." So make sure
That's
y'all check it
dope,
out. Shouts
man.
to Mickey Fax. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, I absolutely agree. Very intelligent. Excuse me, very intelligent dude, like all around. And when it comes to hip hop, dude is genius level with how he breaks things down.
So do you think these conversations are good for the culture, or do you think it's just about arguing?
Um, See, is then here now check this out, right? You got some people who just want to argue. You got some people who actually want to take the like you and I. I feel like if we traded perspectives about certain things, we're actually going to listen to each other to learn and gather information. But it is some people out there who just want to argue, who feel like they right, they stuck in their opinion, they feel how they feel. So I think that just like everything else with human beings, I think that these conversations so to answer the question, yes or no, I think they good, man. Because if nothing else, if you're an intelligent person, you can see how ignorant some motherfuckers are, like with not being able to just peacefully have a conversation. And you like, you know what? If you argue with me this hard about Lupe and Kendrick Lamar, I don't even need to start talking to you about deeper shit because we not, you know, I don't even need to go there with you, bruh. So, and then you got people, and I think it's fun. I think if you treat hip hop like any other sport, you know, I just think people get too personal and get too, like I say, on some tribal shit and not F you and fuck you and you were retarded and calling people names and stuff. No disrespect to retarded people. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is just giving an example of how sometimes people get mean spirited over an opinion. Treat it like your favorite sport team or something. Some people like Drake, some people like Kendrick, some people like me, some people like Lupe, some people like Royce, some people like Biggie, some people like Pop. It's like everybody got their favorite team. That person that resonated with them, whose art is they'll live by it and die by it. And that's cool. And if y'all sit down and have dialogue, maybe you like the other day, man. I was my niece, she's a junior in high school now, and she wanted to start working out. And I told her, I gave her my phone and I was like, you the DJ. I was taking her home. And I don't understand her generation's music. All but I was like, niece, I was like, put me up on some shit. You feel me? I gave her my phone and she started playing some music. And you know what? I didn't like everything she played, but I found a couple that I did like, but also out of me watching her vibe to it, I understood why they like it. I learned in that moment. You dig what I'm saying? I wasn't so shut off, turn that garbage off, turn that. It was like I'm kind of looking at her through the side of my eye while I'm driving, like how she vibing to it and what she's connecting to about the music. And I'm like, okay, I get it. So I do think that if people could have healthy discussions about these things, I think it's a beautiful thing. I just think it's stupid when people start getting hurtful and harmful with it, because that it ain't it's just music, man. So I think if we treated it like sports, man, well, some people get crazy over sports, but if
Yeah,
we
you
just
done seen the Knicks jump that guy in the Spurs jersey, okay?
hey,
Come
yeah,
on.
hey, yeah, no, that was crazy. New York was wilding. Love the New York. They was wilding, man.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I did not want the Knicks to win because I was like, yo, they gonna not let this down for 100 years that they
Oh
won this
yeah.
damn championship.
Oh man, what? What we gonna hear about it for the rest of forever, man. But God bless them, man, because the Knicks, they said, it was like what, 53? It was like what, like 53 years or something like that?
Right, right. I
Since the
was
last.
happy for them in the end, but it was just so funny. I was making fun of my friends because I was like, yo, y'all have not let this down since you've been in the playoffs. I cannot imagine if you win the championship, what you gonna say? Like, I'm like,
Hey.
oh man. But they did that boy in the Spurs jersey bad, man. I was
Dirty,
like, yo,
dirty.
how could you
You
do
talking
that?
about the dude that they had to like escort out of the stadium, the arena? Like, cause it
No,
was
he
a
was
couple
walking on the
crazy situations
street and they
on the
started
street.
chasing him.
Oh, see, I ain't see that. I seen it was a dude that was in the Madison Square Garden with a Spurs jersey on, and he had to get escorted out. It was an angry mob of New
Oh
Yorkers
man.
like following him. I'm like, bruh, it's over sports. Like, what are we doing?
Right. No, but you're right. When it comes to these conversations, that's the way I approach it. I just look at it like barbershop talk, like I'm just
Yeah,
having fun, uh, just having a conversation. It's not that serious. But what I hate about social media is because people are like, how could you think that? You an idiot. And then it goes into name calling. Then it goes, I'll pull up. And it's like, so you gonna kill somebody or really physically harm somebody over their opinion about who the best rapper is? You know these rappers don't give a fuck about you, right? Like they're not happy that you killing this dude and you gonna get some brownie points off of that.
see, you know what? You just said, see, that was the perfect segue for me to share something else that happened to me recently, man. During my like downtime when I couldn't do nothing but just lay in the bed. Thought to my this is gonna sound crazy, dog, but I just breaking news right here on Panda Shop, dog.
Woo.
I don't love music. I don't love hip hop. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by this, okay? Because for the longest time I used to think love music. I love hip hop. Follow me on this. I hope this is as good as the tongue shit. I hope I can bring it. I hope I can bring it around like I did there. Because you said somebody was down to kill you over something stupid, like a comment or something. All right. So think about it like this. This is when I realized I didn't love music and I don't love hip hop. There's a quote in the Bible that said, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, right? Speaking of Jesus dying for our sins. God so loved the world that the only son God had, he allowed it to die because that's how much he loved the world. And then I thought to myself, I'm I'm not dying over music. You feel me? So it's like You feel I'm not like to me, I die for my mother, I die for my cousin, I die for my wife, I die. You feel me? I'm not dying over music. That's the metric to me. If God was so willing to let his son die because of that word love, that means the word love is extreme. So it's like that's not what I feel. I'm not dying over a record. I'm not dying over an opinion. I'm not dying over Jon Connor sucks. Or okay, great, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not dying over anything that's music related. I would die for another human. I think love should be reserved and those feelings should be reserved for other humans and whatever higher power you believe in. So going back to that, oh, I'll pull up over a comment. It's like, yeah, you have to check yourself when it comes to these like emotions. You should only be talking that way about things that you love. You should pull up over your mama. You should pull up over your sister. You should pull up on somebody over that. If it ain't that, then you first of all, you don't love it. And second of all, it ain't worth dying for. Love is the only should only be used if you worth killing or dying for something. And I don't think these people that's talking like that uh the fact that that's even a thing, bro, that we talking about, that I'll pull up on you because your opinion is different than mine. I just think people's perspective on things is in today's world is just so thrown off and they've lost sight of things. And I think that killing and dying for something should only be reserved for the things that you love. And that's how I came to the realization that no, I don't love hip hop and I don't love music. I care about it. I'm passionate about it. I care enough about it to help people, but am I dying over a record? No. Am I, you know what I mean? So I think that just triggered the train of thought of like how people are getting so caught up in I'll pull up or I'll do something to you over an opinion. It's like, nah, it's not worth it, bro. If it ain't your family or someone close to you, then that's stupid.
You know, this is you and me, we always on the same like wavelength for some reason, but this is a great segue to Jay-Z. He had said a couple months back in his GQ interview, like he wasn't sure if battling should be a part of the culture anymore because of
Mhm.
the fans of how serious they take it. Like before, you know, back in the day, like you had to listen to Hot 97, you listen
Well,
to
here.
like whatever radio station and or you watch like MTV and you get people's opinions that way. But now you got like all kind of motherfuckers like Panda Chop that just share their opinion on their own platform and you know what I mean? And
uh,
anybody can say anything, right? You know,
for
but like
sure.
people are so tribal, like you say, where it's like so serious, right? Where like every single day they talking about it. They're like, what? Drake sucks. What? Kendrick? Yeah. It's just like it gets too serious. People's kids get brought into it. People's families. People's
Mhm.
house getting shot up, or their stores getting vandalized, or something like. It's just so much, right? But it was
Mhm.
weird hearing Hove say that because at the same time you're like reminded, you're like, isn't this the same guy that said, yes, you was kissing my dick when you was kissing that bitch? When he said that to Nas? You know, but then like when you really thought about what he said, I was like, I get it. I get it. Okay, like, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
Lupe also recently said that fans are hyping up people so much to get them killed, though. Like, that's
Yes.
the problem because you see, like, a lot of times you might be in agreement with another rapper that you going back and forth with, but then all of a sudden you get embarrassed and you see in the comments the fan is like saying like, "Oh, you let him play you, you a bitch," and yada yada, and you know, it strikes that
Mm.
insecurity in some of these guys, and it makes
Mhm.
you start going harder at the other person, and lines get crossed. It becomes a
Mm.
real problem, man.
It definitely does. Far as Jay-Z, like that's funny. I think that we gotta because I think we touched on this too, because I think we used Eminem, I think, as the example last time of just allowing people a space to grow. You know what I'm saying? I think now that he's a father, he could
Yeah,
look back on some of the things that he said and did, like, man, that was some bullshit. Like, why? Because it's things that I've written where I'll be like, why did I say that? Or why did I do that? Or even moves that I made, that I look back on and be like, that was totally irresponsible. You know what I mean? So I can understand why Jay-Z at this point in his life would say that he don't think it's necessary anymore, which is interesting because then he spit that verse at the
exactly. That
Rooster.
was gonna be my
You know,
next point.
you know what I'm saying? But however, we okay, so I'll let you get to that. But it's like, but I can understand at his age, like, and not saying like, oh, you old here. What I'm saying is the more you grow, the more you evolve. And you can take a step back and then you realize what's important and what's not important. When he was in his 20s and 30s, he was in the trenches, he was in the thick of it. He wasn't married, he was a single man, he was so deep embedded in the game. That was the most important thing to him. He wanted to be the king. He wanted to be number one. So he was had to take on hard challenges. But then when you grow up, you get married, you have kids, you done had a couple different life experiences, and you didn't travel the world, and you realize how sometimes battling and get stuck in that state of mind, it kind of restrains you from being able to grow as a person. It's so much more to life than just this little box called hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And over that little box, you're missing this big ass bubble called the world. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna die over something this big, and it's so much more to explore in the world. And so I definitely understand why he would say that at this particular point in time in his life.
Absolutely. And when you know better, you do better,
Know
right?
better, you do better. Yep.
So, how did you feel when you heard the Jay-Z Roots Picnic freestyle and he was dissing like 15 different people on there?
I thought it was a situation where it's like Jay-Z is human just like the rest of us, and he don't do press a lot. So he knew that all eyes was gonna be on him at this, at the Roots joint. And I feel like, and he probably, and he's even at his height, Jay-Z didn't do like a bunch of interviews. He kind of let things speak through the music, like always. So I just think that this was him being like, yo, I hear y'all. Like, I hear what's being said about me. Like, I hear what y'all talking about on social media and all of that. I see you. And I just think that was him, instead of doing a million interviews about these topics. He just wanted to let everybody know, I hear y'all. This is how I feel about it. Peace. I'm going back to doing what I do.
To
I
making
heard,
another Billy.
yeah, I'm about to go get back to the money. But I hear y'all, but I'm gonna go get back to this money. Yeah. That's how I felt about it.
Yeah, say what you want about Jay, but he knows how to make a moment, right? And he made
Yeah,
a
yeah.
moment out of that, which was super dope. To build off of what you're talking about with like social media, right? Do you
Yeah.
feel like social media has ruined how you view some of the people that you once looked up to and everything? Because now you see in them in interviews and the way that they portraying themselves, or how they posting certain things on their stories or whatever, you know what I mean?
Man, the figured out it wasn't no Santa Claus a long time ago, man. When I first got in the music business, I started seeing that people were just people. Um, so it ain't as I started getting started seeing behind the curtain, probably about 2010, 2009. And I started, it's funny to me to watch the world get to see things about certain people that I've been knew. And I'll be like, I'll be looking like, wait till they find out this about this person. Like, or, oh shit. Because there be things that, like, within the industry, people know, or like behavioral patterns. And I call it the human factor, like how somebody acts beyond their gift, beyond their talent, like what their personality is like. And I just find it funny when I watch people watching certain people now, and I'll be like, yeah, that motherfucker ain't who you thought they was, huh? So it's like, I think social media amplified it, but what can you do?
Y'all are so lucky that John is not messy and didn't reveal a bunch of shit that he knew.
Hey, it's still shit. It's still shit that I still
But
be like,
it's certain ways though. Do you find kind of like, I mean, you said you laugh, but do you like get like a little bit of pleasure out of like when an asshole gets revealed to really be an asshole? Like you knew that they was.
I don't know so much that I get pleasure out of it as much as I feel when I see stuff like that. Um, I'm a fan of truth. I think in science they say truth at any cost, even if it costs your life, right? I'm not a fan of people slandering people just for the sake of, you know what I mean? Like that type of stuff, like that type of journalism, just slander and shit like that. But when people's, true colors come out, or you get to see who somebody really is, I guess I don't really feel no, I don't feel no way about it. I just be like, I can't even say, yeah. I was gonna say I'd be disappointed for their fans, but I mean, ain't even that. I don't even care about that. It's like, I'm glad that y'all, at least y'all. I mean, damn, I don't even feel glad. I don't feel glad or sad or happy or mad. I just look at it like truth is gonna be truth, at all time, and you can't you can't hide who you really are. I think that for a long time, the the whole entertainment business, movies, music, sports, everybody was protected. Like there were these things that was going on behind the curtain that everybody was protecting each other because there was too much money invested in these artists and these actors and these athletes or whatever. It's like what it is doing, I'll tell you what I do find solace in or peace in. Okay, I just found it. See, we talked our way through it. So I do have an emotion toward it. Hope that now it makes artists become better people. It's like for so long there are artists who got away with just shitting on people and being bad people because they thought it was never a way that they was gonna get caught. I think that these people who are like sex offenders or domestic abusers and all that type of shit and people who are just assholes, like I'm happy that the mirror gets held in their face and it makes them have to be accountable. Just because you make a good fucking song don't give you a right to be a shitty person and go beat your wife and be sexually harassing women, or even in women's case, just because you could sing or you could rap or whatever, you fucking you got your baby daddy, you trying to drain him of child support and you're lying on him and you're cheating on him. It's like I'm just the thing that I am glad about it. The thing that I am most happy about that is that it's holding people accountable. It's like, okay, tighten up because now you can't just run from it. The internet is probably the best and the worst thing to happen to show business. You know, it's the best thing because now you can be directly connected to your fan base and your audience. It's the worst thing because we get to see who you really are. And some of these people are assholes. Some of these people don't have real personality. Some of these people are fucking cornballs. That's what the thing that people, yo, Chop, that's the thing some people don't understand. What I saw real early in the music business is that it's possible to be a cornball and be talented. So like fans think that just because you like that person's music, that translates into real life, that they're like a good person. No, that just means they're really good at one thing but they suck at being a human. And that's a real thing. And I've seen people who like online, like people might not be the biggest fans of their music, and they the sweetest people ever. They the nicest fuck. You know what I'm saying? Just like really genuine, kind people. But they get torn down on the internet all day. Oh, their music sucks and blah blah blah. Who gives a shit? I care more about the quality of somebody's character than what the fuck, than me. Like I say, music is subjective. But yeah, I do. I think it's a good thing because it holds people accountable and it exposes who some of these people really are. Let entertainment be entertainment, but don't start worshiping these people like they God or like they're gods because they're not. They're human and they're flawed just like anybody else.
Man, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I feel like today fans lack objectivity.
Mhm.
You know, the internet wants you to be so extreme. Like, there's no possible way that that person could have
Right.
done that, whatever, because their name is so high up or whatever. You know, like it's
Right.
like they're just presumed innocent, right? Like,
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
obviously, look at how much shit that we've seen, like from all these celebrities now, right? Like, oh, what
Man.
you were saying, like, you know,
Chop, you don't have no idea how right you are. Sometimes when I see like comments on certain things, they be like, they'll really justify things to say such and such is rich as fuck. Why would they do that? The two things have nothing to do with each other. Somebody being rich as fuck has nothing to do with the fact that they might be a pedophile. Somebody being rich as fuck, that's a mental thing. Like they need help. They're still a human that have human issues. Just because somebody is rich as fuck don't mean that they don't have a temper that they probably had since they was a kid that they never worked out and they hit their partner. And they be domestic abuse cases. Why would he hit that girl? Because he's a human just like any other human. And you've known people with anger problems, and so have I. It's like money doesn't justify or exempt people from being human and having human flaws like anybody and everybody else. I know rich people who are fucking liars. I know rich people literally who have infidelity issues. I know rich people who are arrogant assholes. And at the same time, I know rich people who are kind. I know rich people who are generous. I know all type of people. So what I'm saying is like the money does is not an excuse for someone's character or why someone would or wouldn't do something. Keep in mind, folks, y'all don't know these people. Enjoy their music and let it be that. Because at the end of the day, even as I'm saying this in this interview, when we get off of this interview, I'm gonna like there's a life that I'm gonna be living that you have no idea about. So it's like, take my words for what I'm saying, like while we're here and what you're enjoying of me right now. But it's like not for me or anybody. Like unless you know them personally or you've gotten close enough to them to understand their character and or you got that intuition or discernment to read somebody's energy and spirit, you don't really know anybody unless you know them for real. So just because they got good music, don't bet your life on the fact that you know that person's character because you don't.
But even then, if you know them for real, right? That doesn't mean they're
Right.
not incapable of making a
And that
mistake.
I agree. I agree. Absolutely.
Right. So
Absolutely.
so like the selective outrage is what gets me these days. How
Mm.
people pick and choose when they can be angry about something, right? Like
Mhm.
last time we got into the whole Hulk Hogan talk and everything like that, right?
Man, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. But you're not that old, but you grew up in a time that predates social media
Yes.
where like you grow up in certain environments, you learn certain codes, things like no women, no children, right? You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Certain things that you just know that these people are to be protected, right? So like when you look at artists like Diddy, R. Kelly, Mystical, just got sentenced to 20 years, Africa Bambaataa, these certain things, right? I'm sorry, but those allegations and those things is much worse than the racist
Yeah.
thing that people are so upset about with with Hulk Hogan.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like when you see
Mhm.
like this type of stuff comes out about people, are you able to separate the art from the person, like and still enjoy their art, or like it ruins the art for you?
Um, it's a mixture of both. Because some days, some of those people you name, like they music might come on my playlist or something, and for 2 seconds I think like, damn, like you know what I mean? Like and it's like it depends on what day of the week it is. Because some days it does stop me from being able to enjoy the music. Some days, like if I like I said, if I'm working out and it come out on the playlist, and I'll say damn, and I'll keep going. But yeah, it depends. Like it depends. I try to separate the art from the person, but sometimes it's difficult depending on what I'm aware of that they did. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, yeah. Sometimes, yeah, damn. Because I think, yeah, because now I'm going through my mind and I'm having memories of every time I tried to listen to or watch something about somebody that did something kind of scandalous. And I guess it does affect me because more times than not, I'll change the song. More times than not, I'll change the song. But because I feel like there's an energy in that. And I never want to glorify somebody whose spirit ain't right. Like I feel like I'm patronizing them. I feel like I'm saying it's okay that you touch little kids because your music's great. It's like, nah, if you touch little kids, if you did some foul, if you raped some girl or beat some girl or did something scandalous that I can't wrap my mind around, then I do. I have a hard time being able to enjoy the music because I feel like the same spirit that made this music did those horrible things as well. So no, I don't think and when it comes to music, mm, that is such a tough question because in the same token, I told you that the comments Hulk Hogan made didn't bother me like at all. But something as serious as like, some of the stuff we've started hearing about, like pedophilia and stuff like that. Like I've heard white people say nigger before, so it don't I guess it's like I don't it don't fuck with me like that because I don't care. Like I don't really care. But like children is just a whole nother thing. Like I
It goes
can't.
back to the innocence thing that we were talking
Yeah,
about though, and like I said, women and children are to be protected. Like that's the school that
yeah,
we come
man.
from, that code, right? So like when you have somebody violate that, to
Yeah,
me, that's worse than racism to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Because like you're talking about
yeah,
like personal trauma that you're causing these people. Like that's a life sentence right there, that you causing a
yeah,
trauma to those people, right?
yeah. And I just want to, because when I say I don't care, I don't want all the black people in the comments to be like, "What you mean you don't care about racism?" No, I care. What I'm saying is like, the word nigga is a word. You know what I'm saying? Like, but touching kids or hitting a woman or that's like a physical act.
Right.
Racism doesn't have to exist to me because I could just ignore you. You understand what I'm saying? Like if it's not directly at my front door, like Hulk Hogan, he didn't knock on my door and say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I can ignore that. I can say, all right. And I could, like, the same way when we had our last interview, when I was like, I think all races are racist behind closed doors. I really do be feeling like that, because I think all races say things that are racially inappropriate to their own race about other races. He just got caught. So, to me, it's like, because in my own community, I've seen black people say crazy stuff. I've seen Hispanic people say crazy stuff about, I've seen Asian people say crazy stuff about, I've seen all races at some point say some racist shit about another race. So that's why I guess it roll off my skin, because it's like, it's all of us. Everybody do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not downplaying it for all the people that get hypersensitive. But what I'm saying is, stop it, man. We all do it. But everybody's not out here touching kids. Everybody's not out here hitting females. Everybody's not out here being sexually fucking weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's like a whole nother thing. So with some of those accusations, it does bother me, because that's not something everybody does. That's like that's a mm, that's an evil that I can't wrap my mind around, because I got so much love for humans and people, and I can't even imagine like that type of shit. So it's like, yeah, it does affect me.
Right. So, with that being said, I think that like when you discuss these certain artists, it's almost like you got to have an asterisk next to their name now. Like you can't take away their contribution to the genre, the culture, whatever you want to say, right? Like what you can say what you want about R. Kelly, but genius writer, talent, songwriter for R&B music, right? Like you could argue he's the best ever, but at the same time, you could say that he's sick and that he was wrong for what he did. The point is having the objectivity and discernment to be able to acknowledge those things. And I think the problem is that people want it to be one or the other. They don't want you to have, to be able to say both things can be true.
You know what's very interesting as we talk about this? I don't know that I've had conversations about those artists that you've named since like their allegations and trials have come up. I don't know that I really don't. I don't know that I've mentioned them, talked about them, talked to people. I really don't. I'm really trying to think, because I just think that, like I say, I don't ever want to patronize anybody that was doing some foul shit, as a human. So I just kind of steer clear of talking about people that do like I think maybe me and like my sister and my mother maybe had like a Puff Daddy conversation, or like a girl I was kicking it with. But like, yeah, I try not to have those conversations, because I never want to patronize people that do things that I don't understand.
But that's hard for you, that you were such a big No Limit fan. How did you not have a conversation about Mystical though?
I met Mystical too, and shouts to my brother KLC, man. I just, like I say, I don't. Yeah, because I think that I don't know if I don't know enough about the situation, because Mystical is actually somebody that I've met. So, and like I say, I'm close with KLC, and I know they like brothers. So I would never speak on that, because I don't know enough information about the situation to pass judgment, nor would I ever I don't pass judgment on these people. That's why I just don't say nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is not me. Funk them, or no, I don't know enough about the situation. So I'm just not gonna say nothing at all. I don't know I don't know the ins and outs. Like I said, with Mystical, R. Kelly, Puffy, anybody. Like I don't know, I don't know the ins and outs. So I try to stay away from it. If I'm not 100% educated on somebody and what they did and didn't do, then I just try not to speak on it at all.
Got you, man. So in the battle between Kendrick and Drake, who do you personally feel won?
I think now there's a couple ways you can break that down.
Right.
Okay, I think music wise it was a tie. But I think strategy wise, that's why Kendrick won. I kid you not. I was kicking it with a young lady. If she ever see this, Whitney, what up?
Damn, you dropping names?
Yeah, Whitney, that's my homegirl. Yeah, we was cool. So Whitney, that's my homegirl. So I was dating a girl named Whitney at this time. That just was going on. And so we was talking about it as it was going on. And I kid you not, Chop. This is the night. I don't remember the names of the records or whatever. But Drake had just dropped one. Maybe the one where he sounded like Tupac. That one.
Oh, the Tupac Snoop Dogg one that he did, the AI one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to the girl Whitney, And I'm like, Whitney, you know what I would do? I said, if I was Kendrick, I said, if I, no, I didn't even say if I was Kendrick. I said, if I was in this battle. And then she was like, what? I said, immediately after Drake or Kendrick drop something, I would drop something literally like 15 minutes later because we're so much in a right now culture that it didn't matter at a certain point what Kendrick dropped. Like remember when he dropped the joint the same night Drake dropped that joint? That's when Kendrick won. The shock factor of Drake just dropped something. Wait a minute, it's a new Kendrick song out. He took all the momentum and put it back on him in the same night. That's when he won. And not like us didn't even come out yet. You know what I'm saying? It was like just that one chess move, and he's a smart cat. Because I literally told the girl I was kicking it with at the time, I was like, that's what I would do. I said I'd have one already in the chamber and I'd drop it the same night. So while people is like, oh shit, such and such said this, just the sheer spectacle of I dropped something right after you is gonna take everybody's attention away from whatever you did. It didn't matter what Kendrick was saying at that point. It was just the fact of, damn, like it sent a message. The message that Kendrick sent by dropping something that same night was, I'm with it. I want all the smoke. I'm with the shits. Like it's on. Like I'm not playing with you. Like it was like when you get a whooping as a kid. We used to get whoopings, and my grandfather he'd hold your arm up and whoop your ass like that with the belt. That's what Kendrick did that night. It was like, oh, he didn't grab his arm and like whooped his ass. Like damn. So, so I'm like, damn, it let everybody know, oh shit. Like this motherfucker ain't bullshitting. So it was like, that was to me when he won. So I think music wise, it was a tie because real shit, bro. Like 2 months ago, when I was laying down, I went back and listened to Drake's like joints that he had at Kendrick. This motherfucker was snapping. Like Drake was snapping like the entire time. It's shit that I listened to in them joints that he dropped where I'm like, damn, I didn't even catch this. And it still took me to now to catch what he said. And it was so, and then the fact that you got to look at Drake was going at six different people, like bow, bow, bow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had to shoot off a whole army, considering Drake held his own by himself and he had to like defend himself against like fucking 7 artists at one time. And then these ain't like B-level artists. This is Kendrick Lamar, Rick Ross, Metro Boomin, Future, ASAP Rocky. Like, damn, like this is like the all-star team against just one dude. So I
The
think you
Monstars.
it was the fucking Monstars, bro. It was. And the fact that Drake held his own, bro, I think that that's respectable. So I say music wise, I call it even. They but when I listen to those tracks back to back, when you go Drake Kendrick, and you listening to the records, they both snapping. That lyrically, Kendrick didn't demolish Drake as bad as everybody thought he did. It's just that when that Meet the Parents and when those shits came out back to back to back, it was you was getting hit in the face with the momentum. It was more so the momentum of those records and the way Kendrick released them is what was the checkmate for Drake. It
It
was
was the
how he did it.
strategy.
Yeah, he beat him with strategy. So I think music, it was a tie. Strategy, Kendrick won. And then with Super Bowl and the pop out and all that shit, Kendrick obviously won overall. So I think he won with strategy. I don't necessarily think when you go back and listen lyrically that it was like he just demolished Drake. No, he didn't. It was two of the greatest rap artists of this generation going back and forth, and they gave us a show. And that I think Drake versus Kendrick is the greatest battle rap on record to me. Like Drake versus Kendrick, it gave us everything and more that you want from you gotta think, man. Jay-Z and Nas, all respect, but they gave us like what it was like, what Takeover, then Ether, then Super Ugly, and then Nas, I think maybe mentioned threw a couple shots at Hove later. Hove maybe threw a couple shots, but it wasn't like this. It wasn't like all these bars is for you. These is for one person. Like, and then you got casualties, J. Cole bowing out. The theater of this whole battle,
It's like a
the
soap
the
opera.
it was a fucking soap opera. Like every day you was checking your phone to see what was going on. So I go on record and saying Kendrick Lamar versus Drake is the greatest battle rap by two recording artists. You know what I'm saying? That I've ever seen in my lifetime.
You know what though? Like, I'm a bigger Kendrick fan than Drake fan, but I
Hmm.
will say though I appreciate and respect Drake's songwriting ability because the way
Yeah.
he structures music and stuff, like you could tell he's just studied other genres, right?
Hmm.
But I feel like his song, what was it? Family Matters didn't get
Yes.
enough respect the
Right.
way that because that shit went hard.
It went dumb hard.
Yeah,
He
it went
took
hard.
bro, the Family Matters. Oh yeah. Family Matters was the Drake joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Meet the Grams is the Kendrick joint.
Yeah. Meet the
Okay.
Grams sounded like super eerie and like crazy, right? But what's
Yeah.
so funny is like you're totally right about the strategy because even after he had released Meet the Grams and then all of a sudden he dropped Not Like Us. Do you remember that clip of Academics? He was like, another one, and like he's like
Yep.
exhausted in his
Yep.
fucking chair. He's like, I can't keep doing this. And then that's why it seemed like Drake lost to a certain extent too, because when he came back with the Heart 6, he sounded tired, bro. He sounded like I'm done with
Yes.
this. Like
I'm done.
it's just too much, you know. And he
Yep.
even said like, I know you got another 1,000 records waiting. Like he even
Yep.
said that about
Yep.
Kendrick, you know.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I had interviewed Jay Hood recently, and he said if you go back and look at it lyrically, he personally feels that Drake was wittier than Kendrick was. But I think that you're right that people look at it, and I don't know if I agree with that, but I'm just saying though, like overall, I think though that the general consensus is that Kendrick won because of everything involved.
Yeah. All encompassing.
Yeah.
You know that expression when they say, you might not remember what people said to you, but you remember the way they made you feel.
Mm.
The night Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams, the same time Drake dropped that song, Kendrick made us feel something. Remember when you just described Meet the Grams, you said it felt eerie.
Yeah.
He made you feel. So I remember that night where I was like, damn, I almost sunk down in my chair, like, oh shit. Like, oh my, this shit getting crazy. And then Not Like Us coming the next day, it was like he made you feel something. And that was the thing. And then, like you said, like at that point, it wasn't no winning. And Drake, you could literally hear him being tired. He was tired of this shit. And Kendrick seemed like, honestly, I feel like just real shit. I feel like Kendrick been wanting this since the 2000, what was the same year that I was in the cypher on the BET Awards. It was like 2013, 2014, where Kendrick was saying, and nothing been the same since I took that sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. He was throwing shots at Drake in 2013. Like, and it looked like he wanted it. Like it looked, I remember watching that night, like, damn. I'm like, he wanted with Drake. Like, I'm like, and he's been ready for this and preparing for this seemingly since back then.
Or remember when he said I'm the king of New York, right? And
Yes.
the control verse. And,
Yes.
and Drake definitely was in his feelings about that control verse because he was like, yo, like, you know, if you got a like, I forgot what he said, but it was kind of along the lines of like, if you got a problem, just say it. Like, you know, why you gonna say that you cool with us, but then like you really want to destroy us, that type of thing, you know? But like Kendrick was really on the competition type of shit. You know?
Yes. Yeah, he come from that. He come from that cloth. Same cloth that I grew up with, like, and cut from that. You know, that's just how we came up. You know, battling, and you want that number one spot. And every song you get on, you make sure you own it and make sure you kill whoever on the song. Like, it's just, I think it was fairly competition. And whoever knows what goes on behind the scenes and what interactions they personally had. But I think when you add, you know, the competitive nature of hip hop into whatever behind the scenes chatter and pillow talking, who was doing with what, it just, you know, kind of made that shit explode into what we saw. But I go on record as saying that's the greatest hip hop battle that I've ever seen play out.
I thought though it was ridiculous when people were saying that Not Like Us is the best diss track of all time though. I felt like people were really prisoners of the moment when they said
Of the moment.
you know,
Yes.
and I was like, damn, like, you know, like Jay Hood described it really well that he knew strategy wise, like he made a hit record out of a diss track. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like it was just everywhere. So like
Mhm.
even you just had to rock with it almost. Even kids was singing it, like just like it was, then you
Mhm.
say singing it at the Super Bowl, and he got that meme with that smile on his face. He was like, say Drake, like it's just like it
Yeah,
just became too much shit, bro. Like it was just
it
too
was.
much.
It was, man. Going back to just what I said, that when not after he gained the momentum, when he dropped the record the same night Drake did, and then to immediately come with Not Like Us. And now we all know Not Like Us, like we all know the words to it. But the first time we all heard A minor and the got a weird case, why is he around? All these lines after you just heard the Meet the Grams and he dropped it on the same night, and we still trying to process Meet the
We
Grams.
still digesting it.
Yeah, we still and then he just hit us again. It was like he made us all feel something. So yeah, it was like that's what it's the moment. But also to some people in this generation, it might be for them. Like, going back to my analogy that we all hear things different. So for some people it could be. But you know what I mean? But yes, I definitely think that he created a powerful moment that that we ain't gonna never forget. I'll tell you that shit.
You're right though, right? Because a lot of times when newer generations, they don't realize that older artists had to crawl for new artists to run, to walk,
Mhm.
to walk, to run. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like Jay-Z and Nas, like maybe they listen to it now, they're like, oh, this sounds so old or whatever. But at the time, the way when it was released, the way it made
Yes,
us feel, you
feel.
know what I mean? When nothing to that level yet that we've
Mhm.
seen or whatever, right? It's different. It's always different when you were experiencing it in the actual moment and you was alive to see it, and it's always different,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
But I want to ask you this though, like, have you ever seen the culture turn on an artist quicker than they did with Drake? Because think about it, before the Kendrick battle, you weren't really hearing white boy, oh, you
Right.
really not like us and everything. All these artists that he had beef with in the end, he had given hits to.
Yep.
He had helped at some point, right? So to see it turn and shift like that, it was crazy. I'm saying I'm not even a Drake fan like that, but I was like,
Mhm.
damn, y'all switching up on him like that? Like that's
No, it was
crazy.
crazy. No, I haven't never seen. The only thing I can compare to that
Ja Rule.
is Ja Rule. Yeah, you said the words right out my mouth. Yeah, that's the only time when 50 came out and Ja, that was like, because Ja was that dude. And
Right.
then when 50 came out, it was like everybody turned on Ja Rule. And so that's the only time I ever seen it happen like that. If I was Drake, man, I don't blame him. If Drake never wanted to do another show in the United States, I wouldn't blame him. If I was Drake being from Canada, I'd be like, fuck the United States. Honestly, the way that everybody treated Drake after him, he was that. When did Drake come out? Best I ever had came out, what, 2010?
No, I think wasn't it 6 or 8? I don't remember. No, maybe you're
I'm gonna
right.
say 2009, 2010. So what? He been the man. He was the man for like what, 12 years straight.
Oh,
That's the
2009. 2009.
2009. So when was the battle? 2024.
Yeah.
So do the math for me real quick. What is that? 2029, 2024. How many years is it?
15 years.
Bro, we've never seen a hip hop artist be on top of the fucking game for 15 years straight. Like, that's one thing that I'll say. Like, people could say what they want to say about Drake, and you can have your opinion about his music.
Mhm.
We've never seen that. I don't give a fuck
This
who
kind of
you,
run, this kind of run has
this kind
been,
of
yeah,
run,
yeah.
bro. If you start back here, I'll try the best I can. 1993, Dr. Dre was the man. That's when the Chronic came out, right? 1994, Snoop Dogg was the man. That was the year. When I say the man, that means he was selling the most records. That's all you heard people listening to. Okay, so when Doggy Style came out in '94, fucking Snoop was the fucking man. '95, One More Chance comes out. Biggie is the fucking man, undisputed. Okay, '96. Tupac is out of jail. All Eyes on Me is out. He dropped Machiavelli. All you hearing is Hell Made. Tupac's the fucking man. 1997, No Way Out comes out. Puffy is the fucking man. 1998, it's a split between DMX and Master P. All right, that's all they shared that shit. In 98, 99, DMX dropping double albums, 2 albums in the same year, all that type of shit. Master P selling what, 75 million records in 1998. Okay, 1999. Notice what I'm saying. All of these artists had 1 year where they was the fucking man. When Best I Ever Had came out, that motherfucker got nominated for a Grammy the same year. He didn't even have an album out. See, people be forgetting history. So it's like, yo, we've never seen anything like Drake before. The man for 15 years, like I can't name nobody else in the mid. You could say other people came out, like okay, Future came out, and okay, Young Boy and Kodak Black and all these other people, but the undisputed selling the most records, selling the tours out, all that type of shit. So I'm saying all of that to say this. If I were Drake, I can't imagine how betrayed he feel. I can't imagine how he sat in his room, like baffled, like at this shit. You know, Kendrick had good points on his side or whatever the case, but I mean, the turn was crazy of the public, of how everybody turned against him. But if I was Drake, like, yeah, if he never did another show in the United States, I'd totally understand why. Because from his perspective, he looked probably looking like you ungrateful motherfuckers. Like, okay, fuck y'all. Like, you know, you feel me? Like he probably thinking like that. Like because like you said, all of those artists he helped out, and he had to find out a bunch of people wasn't his friend all at one time, which is insane, insane. But yeah, man, if I was Drake, I wouldn't fuck with nobody from the United States ever again.
But he lives in L.A., doesn't he? He live in
I know.
yeah, one of them rich areas. I forget where
Yeah,
everybody be living, you know. But yeah, I think he lives here, so I don't know, man. But I hear what you're saying. But he definitely wasn't taking like Rick Ross's apology, and then he sent shots, and then they was going back and forth again or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's crazy.
crazy,
That's
crazy,
crazy.
crazy. Man, I can't. Like I said, I couldn't imagine being Drake at that time. I couldn't imagine.
To build off of that, I want to ask you, the music industry has a reputation for broken promises, changing loyalties, and people being around only when you're useful, right?
Yeah.
Looking back now, what have your personal experiences taught you about reading people? Like, can you tell the difference between, is this person genuinely in your corner versus they're attached to your success?
Most of the time, yeah, I could tell. Um, Most of the time I could tell because I do believe I was blessed with discernment. The times, excuse me, that I've ignored my discernment or my third eye or my instincts about people, that's normally when I get fucked over. It's like it's something about this person. It's like they're saying all of the right things, but it's still something about them that don't seem right. And anytime I ignore that feeling is always when shit go left. So my experiences is just follow your intuition. You know, follow your first mind when it comes to don't let somebody convince you into believing that there's something they're not. Because these days, you know, people are extreme when it comes to manipulation. People are very extreme. They'll do just about anything to get what they want out of you. And so yeah, I would just say in my life experience, I just learned to always trust my intuition. I think that we have a compass inside of us, our spirit, like is our compass. And when we're drawn to certain people, it's for a reason. And when we're repelled from people, it's for a certain reason. And I think that we should always listen to that little voice that's letting us know who to mess with and who not to mess with.
Which is another great point, right? The industry is filled with politics. I
Okay.
think even just being on the content side, I'm interacting with a lot of artists, right? But I think
Mhm.
Tupac said it best when he said, it's a dirty game. You got to be careful who you fuck with and who you don't fuck with,
That's a fact.
right? So, how do you navigate industry politics and choose who you rock with, who you don't rock
Mm.
with? This person got this issue with this person. I
Yeah.
don't want to be involved, but you know, people look at you a certain way if you stand too close to somebody else. Like, how do
Yeah.
you move?
Well, to be perfectly honest, the first thing that was coming to my mind was I don't play industry politics no more. I'm playing the game of life. Like if you're a good person, I fuck with you. I stand on my morals, my laurels, my principles. Like, if I'm cool with somebody, and then if I catch wind that somebody that they not cool with, like, want to do something with me, I will give a courtesy call because of my friendship with that person. But that's not like I'm playing industry politics is no, I would do that with any of my friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I had a friend and it's they had a situation with somebody and they was uncomfortable, It's like if you my friend for real, or if I rock with you like that, then I'm not gonna put you in a space. I'm gonna respectfully not mess with that person. I'm still gonna be solid with that person and be like, yo, you know, such and such is my man's. I wish I could do that for you, but I can't because I don't want to create no weird situation. Or I don't and like I respect what you do because that has actually happened before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where somebody reached out to me to do something, but they had a problem with somebody else I was cool with. And I had a conversation with my homeboy, and he was like, yeah, nah, I don't fuck with that dude at all. Had the conversation with the other dude, like, yep, wish I could do it for you, man, for real. You seem like a cool enough person, but I've been friends with this person for a long time, so I can't do it. You know, that's just who I am as a person. So I don't play. I used to be deep into the game and like studying like I said, obviously when I was signed to a major and even all of that time when I was coming up in the underground, I had to understand the politics of the business. I had to learn the game. But now I've graduated beyond that. It's like I'm not playing the game. I'm playing the game of life. I'm just being a good person. And whatever's meant to come to me is gonna come to me. If it's not, it's not. I'm not doing all this dumbass shit, manipulating somebody and acting like I'm their friend and I really don't like them for real. I don't at this point in my life, I don't do nothing I don't want to do. I don't have conversations that I don't want to have. I don't do features that I don't want to do. I don't do interviews that I don't want to do. I don't do anything I don't want to do. If I do, like right now, me and you was on it because I fuck with you as a person. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know who you know in the industry, but the thing is, I don't care because I fuck with you. So whoever you know and don't know, that's dope. That's what's up. But I fuck with you. That's why we here right now. And that's how I move like with everything. And if you see me on a feature with somebody, I either got paid to do it or I really fuck with them like that. So it's like that shit
But even
gets
the money
draining.
is not enough for you to just do it though, right? Like
Say that again. What's the question?
even the money is just not enough for you to do it. Like you still
For me
have
to
to
do a
like,
feature?
yeah.
Well, nah, sometimes it's like, because here's the thing too. Remember earlier in this conversation, I said I don't love music, right? So I care about it and I'm passionate enough, but I also know that I'm in the business of selling music. So the thing is, like, what I'm saying is, okay, because I understand where you're going with it. You're saying, like, if somebody that doesn't like a friend of mine paid me to do a feature, would I do it? No, I wouldn't. So yeah, so I had to make the distinguishment because I was gonna say if somebody came in and paid me to do a feature, I would do it. But you're saying specifically if it was somebody that didn't fuck with a friend of mine, would I do it for the money? No, I wouldn't.
No, but even then though, like you have to like still like look at like kind of like their reputation a little bit and see like if
Exactly,
they stand
exactly,
for certain things. Like
exactly.
you still have to make discernment.
Absolutely. No, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yes, yes. You know what I'm saying? What they say, you lay down with a dog, you get fleas. So it's
Yeah.
like I don't want no negative no negative shit on me, man. I try to just associate with positive good dudes. But yeah, I remember it was a time period because when I was coming up, you know, that's what was taught to me about relationships and maintaining relationships. That was really difficult for me early on because I've always tried to be such a genuine person that is like yeah, I got such and such's phone number now, but I don't know what to talk to them about. What I'm supposed to just call them, and I didn't know. It's like because I don't know them for real. What am I supposed to? And then I feel like a scumbag because it's like I know that I'm only talking to them because I might want a favor in the future. It's like that's not how my spirit works. It's like I felt whack like in times that people would be like, "Yo, you should call such and such and just." Chop it up with them. It's like about what? I don't know what the fucking chop it up with them about. You know, so for me, it was at times I think I was too genuine for my own good at certain times coming up in the game. But I got to a point of understanding in myself, like there's a way to still be in the business of selling music and also still be a solid person and staying in tune with your spirituality and not being a fucking manipulative scumbag. Like at the end of the day, if I talk, I know how to maintain relationships and create a genuine bond with people, but also like it's like this right here. You've texted me before that about shit that didn't have nothing to do with doing an interview, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's because you felt like it and you a cool dude. And I responded because
Right.
we just so happened to be doing another interview, but we've talked about things outside of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
like
there's a
I
way.
checked up on you and stuff, you know, like
Exactly.
right.
See, that's real shit. So where it's like, oh, of course I'd kick it and do an interview with my dog Chop, man, because now there's a genuine bond there. I don't feel, even if it is, don't tell me. Let me live in my little fantasy world.
No, it
You know?
definitely is, man. Come
But
on.
but you know, I know, but it's just like, okay, it feels genuine enough to where that when we do have a sit down or an interview, I feel like I'm just chopping it up with the homie and I'm doing it because I want to because you a solid dude.
See, I relate to your story so much because a lot of times the things that you talk about is kind of like what I'm experiencing on the content side, though. Even though I'm dealing with artists still, I'm not making music, but like the
Mhm,
relationships, how I move, like I really try to just be as genuine and good of a person as possible. So I really don't like being fake. I can't really do that. I can't like pretend
mhm,
to like somebody because I think, oh, they got big numbers and they're gonna give me an interview and stuff. But I know that this dude is a piece of shit. Like, like I just can't
mhm,
do it, or
mhm,
I don't really relate to them. I don't really have a lot to talk to them about. Like if you notice, like with my interview style, I tailor my interviews to the person based off of their energy, right? I
mhm,
know you not on some bullshit off of some drama and stuff. I'm not gonna put you in that kind of situation. I wouldn't do that. That's why we talk
mhm,
about real shit. If we talk about something controversial, it's still from a more higher level. You know what I mean? Like it's still like
mhm.
intellectual, so it's
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
yeah, so I don't really ever try to do kind of like manipulative kind of stuff like that. I don't look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mhm,
really appreciate what you're saying. Um, but yeah, bro, it's tough because I know that your career is affected to a certain extent. Like if you were to play politics, I'm sure you could
mhm,
get more features or get this
mhm.
look or get that look or whatever, but it doesn't sit right with your soul. And at the
Go
end of the
on.
day, can you look in the mirror? And I think that a lot of people end up getting trapped in this whole thing. And then when they look in the mirror, they can't even recognize that person anymore.
Absolutely. That's you just said it, bro. Like, no, I'm not gonna sacrifice my soul for this music shit. I'm just not. Like, like I said, I care about music, I'm passionate about music, but there's things that I love more than music. I'm big on morals and your character and you know, just those things, how you treat people, just dog, it's just still life at the end of the day. After you done podcasting, man, this is still life. The energy that you gonna have after we get off of this podcast, you gotta take that into the world with you. It's still life. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, this shit at the end of the day, bro, it's still life. So I'm not about to fake like I like people that I don't. I'm not gonna fake like I'm being sincere with somebody if I'm not. I just don't have it in me to do that. So oh yeah, but you were saying like, far as career path, we're doing that. I'm of the firm belief, what's for me is for me. Nothing can stop that. I told you my spirituality, man, is the central base of everything I do. Like, bro, I'm a kid from Flint, Michigan that ended up signing to Dr. Dre. That's God. There was no way that that was supposed to be able to happen. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I didn't plan on that happening. So the same God that did that for me is the same God that's gonna give me whatever else I need. I don't have to be a fake person in order to activate my blessings. My blessings is gonna come to me by virtue of me staying who I've always been, because that's what's always worked for me. Like I didn't get to Dr. Dre by politicking. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's, people look at Dr. Dre like that's the highest you can go. Cats like him and Jay-Z and you know what I'm saying, Kanye and them, like, okay, I'm sitting in them circles and I didn't do it by politicking and manipulating. I stayed a solid person. Like me and Dr. Dre talked the other day. My first manager, Young Sav, we talked the other day. I still have all of the relationships with people that I've always had because I'm just stay a genuine person. I'm not playing the game. I'm just living my life and just trying to be a good person. And I think when you just focus on being a good person, that supersedes playing the industry strategy. Because I've seen people like, man, I know several artists that like they really be driving themselves crazy with this shit. Okay, so I'm gonna call such and such, but then I'm gonna send them a text. Should I send them a follow-up text? Should I wait an hour to send them a follow-up text? Wait a minute. But then they said in the text that it was, if you don't cut that shit the fuck out, man. Like, this be you. This be you. And if they text you back, cool. If they don't, fuck them. And another opportunity gonna come. You feel me? It's like, man, don't let none of this shit disrupt your peace. Because I was the artist that for a long time, I let a lot of this music stuff disrupt my peace. Whoever's supposed to be in my life gonna be in my life. Whoever's not is not. Whatever financial blessings I'm gonna have, they're gonna come because of me staying me and me staying focused on my goals and doing what I gotta do. So that's how my blessings gonna come the same way they always did. But it's funny to me because when I see people that still like playing the game, it's like, look at you, you're miserable. You're not even enjoying this shit no more. You like, so I know this guy, he's a manager for such and such, and he's gonna reach out to such and such, and I think he's gonna do the feature, but I have to call at 7:45 on the dot. So it's like, dog, if the motherfucker gonna do the feature, he gonna do it. If he not. And if he don't do it, make the best record you can make, keep it pushing, and maybe y'all will see each other again down the line. It's like I think I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I'm sorry because I'm getting long-winded, but a friend of mine said when you get into show business, it should come with you should get health insurance for like therapy, like when you get in this shit. Because you have to deal with so many disingenuous people, you have to deal with so many liars, you have to deal with so many people that are
Promise you
bullshit.
things.
Yes, bullshit salesmen. Yes. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with all of these type of people on a regular basis. Like, like honestly, I was getting to a point at one point when I was going through my health shit where I was laying in the bed, like sometimes I don't even know, like, is it worth doing it for the energy that you have to absorb for all of these type of people? Is it worth it? But for me, helping people is worth it. But there you go. I got long-winded on that. But that's why I don't care about how it affects, like, I don't look at it like it affects like my career path because my career path has always been on the trajectory that is on because of me just staying the person that I am. And I'm gonna just keep doing that.
And it's a terrible feeling to feel like you need to rely on somebody else to make something happen for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, is the feature gonna happen? The guy said he's gonna ask. You know what I mean? Like, I've been there. Like,
Right.
yo,
Yeah.
he said he's gonna ask the person if they'll do the interview with me, and then all of a sudden, like, some time passes by, and you're like, oh shit, I still haven't heard anything, and like, you don't want to be that person to ask
Mhm.
again, and then like, it's just like, bro,
Yeah.
there's just so many times where like you'll do stuff for people and then like they don't come through for you or whatever. Like it's just like this, people will say they'll do stuff and they won't. It's so disingenuous. It's crazy, right?
That's a fact.
So that brings me to my next point, right? Do people ever question if you're truly genuine because they're not used to somebody being so genuine? Because this industry is not genuine.
Mm. Um, I don't think anybody questions whether I'm genuine. Um, Honestly, I think that's something that probably has been used as a knock on me at times in the industry. Like, because an industry friend of mine was like, "You're too nice, John.
Bro,
You too
that's what I
nice."
get. That's what I get too. That's what I'm saying.
And then this was my response to that person. I don't know if I want to live in a world where being too nice is an insult or a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? If that's the worst thing about me is that I'm too nice, I take it. I take that over you're an asshole or you stole money from me or you lied about this. That's not what you're gonna hear about Jon Connor, that he took something from you or lied or no, you gonna hear the only knock on me in the industry you would ever hear is Jon Connor, too nice for his own good. Is
You
probably
got
what you're
taken
gonna hear.
advantage of or something like that because
Yes,
he
you probably go, yeah, you probably gonna hear that.
That's crazy, man. So, to build off of what you said, right? Jay-Z recently said, everything in life happens for your greatest good.
Mhm,
Like he had to not get a deal in order to become who he is today. And while it
mhm,
didn't feel like the greatest blessing, it ended up becoming that. So, everything
mhm.
in your life is not happening to you, it's happening for you.
For you, yeah.
How do you feel about that? Like, there's plenty of times I'm sure you've had situations where you were thinking like, man, everything's falling apart. Then in the end, you realize, dang, this actually was better for me.
Yeah, I absolutely agree that everything is always happening for the greater good. It's been too many times in my life where that stood to be true. Like where again, going back to spirituality, we only see what's in front of us. You know, there's a bigger picture full of things than ahead of us that we have no idea about. I always tell people when they get mad, like or they running late for work or whatever the case may be, or somebody cut them off in traffic. It's like that was supposed to happen. Maybe that person that's going slow in front of you is slowing you down because if you were going faster, you might get in a car accident. You never know. I'm always looking at life like that. Like okay, if I don't make it somewhere on time, be courteous and tell the people what's going on. But don't look at it like, oh fuck shit, or get frustrated because maybe it was something else that was gonna happen to you. Like I look at all of those. I went down a 9/11 rabbit hole recently, and I was listening to 9/11 survivors' testimonies. And it was a lot of people. It was one dude that I seen on there that was like, he had a meeting at the World Trade Center that day that he was late for. That's fake. He was late
Mm.
for a reason. And he woke up that morning thinking, shit, I'm fucking late. Okay, being late saved your life. So I do think that everything is working for the greater good at all time. Even lean not on your own understanding. You know what I'm saying?
Now, John, why didn't you tell us that at 11 you had a dream of becoming a WWE wrestler, man?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do at first. It was like it was that and being a chef is the first thing.
What would have been your wrestler name?
The name too. It was Kevin Summers. Because I'm a big Cyclops fan and X-Men, right? So I always thought the last name Summers was dope. And then my middle name was Kevin. And so I thought Kevin Summers was a dope name for a wrestler. That was my wrestling name when I was a kid. I was Kevin Summers.
So, like, as a kid, were you like jumping off of the bed onto like the ground and
All that,
shit?
bro. I used to take the marker, this pair, I had one pair of gray sweatpants, right? And I would draw like the Shawn Michaels broken hearts on them. And bro, I would literally on the whole day, I would color these gray sweatpants to where they look like Shawn Michaels tights. Whatever tights for y'all that's not wrestling fans. There's a professional wrestler named the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and y'all can Google him. Y'all can look at his tights and see what I'm talking about. But when I was a kid, and then I even made me some chaps. I made some chaps out of an old pair of jeans, bro. I had my whole Kevin Summers outfit, dog.
Oh
Like,
shit.
yeah, I was on it.
So what made you ultimately not pursue it?
Man, a couple things. One, I have bad migraines, and like even when I was a kid, so I started looking at wrestling and thinking like that. Even like the shit that's not like a crazy bump. There's a lot of like whiplash that you doing a lot in professional wrestling, and I started looking like nah, I would definitely I wouldn't be able to sustain it. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got older, and then I got into hip hop, it was over. It was a wrap.
Yeah, that CTE shit and all that stuff. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really hard on your body. I know they say that wrestling is fake, but bro, like your body really goes through it. And
Yeah,
you
your
on the
body go through
road
it.
for like 300 days out of the
Right.
year and
Ain't no off season and you getting
right.
slammed through tables and you like that's what I'm saying. Like at least football players get to take like some time off. Like and for the off season, professional wrestlers, that's all year and you getting slammed through tables and hit with chairs and set on fire and going through thumbtacks and jumping off cages. Like, oh no, my health already been crazy since I was a kid. So it's like I don't need nothing else messing with my health, man.
Right. It happened for you, man. It happened for
It
you.
happened, it happened for me, bro. As a fact, as a fact.
So last time we were here, one of the big topics we spoke about was Hulk Hogan. Did you
Mhm.
watch the docu-series on Netflix?
Did.
What
I
did you
did.
think?
Thought it was cool. So it's been a minute now since I watched it, but I can remember thinking like, okay, that's cool. It was things that I didn't know about, like the steroid trial when
Mhm.
he testified, like, and he kind of like swerved the government. Like he told them if they gave him immunity, then he would testify against Vince. But when he got on the stand, he told the truth and said Vince ain't never tell him to use steroids. So there was stuff in there that I learned and it was a couple things that they didn't touch on that I wish they would have, but I mean, you can only put so much into those episodes. But I thought it was good though.
Yeah. You think it did a good job at humanizing him and being fair?
From what I can remember, yeah. From what I can remember,
I thought the part about his brother passing was really sad, bro. Like you could see like how he was still so upset about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those things, yes, yes. So in that respect, yes, because it's been a minute since I watched it. So it's probably like I watched it when it first came out, and I haven't watched it since.
Right.
But yeah, I just remember after I watched it, I thought it was really good, and I did walk away from it realizing that there was a difference between Terry Bollea and Hulk Hogan for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. Now, I done seen some posts, John, where you hating on DC and bigging up Marvel so much,
Yeah,
man.
man.
That was
Yeah,
so
man.
disrespectful. What's the
Come on,
problem
man.
with DC, man? What do
Come
they
on with
need
it.
to do? What do they need to do to fix their movies?
Let me tell you something, bro. So in the studio part of my setup, so this is I'm in my content room right now, right? But there's another room that I have my studio in, right? So there's a big picture of all of the Marvel characters, and then I got one next to it that's all of the DC characters, right? It is literally like 30 dudes that look like Green Lantern. It's like 18 people that look like Superman. And it's like, man, come on, man. This is what my problem is with DC, dog. Just the source material I felt like never interested me as a kid. Like I felt like the writing for Superman, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, all of the comic book heads, y'all can get at me in the comments because I will admittedly say Superman always seemed super boring to me. So I never got into it. I always felt I like things that challenge me intellectually or I can find some common ground with, right? The gallery of Marvel characters, all no matter what walk of life you're from, you could find some way to relate to some Marvel character. Like I feel like, okay, X-Men, you can look at it and you could take mutants versus humans as prejudice in any type of way. You know what
Well,
I'm
they
saying?
did model it after racism,
You
right?
feel me? So you feel me? So think about that, right? You could easily say that Magneto is Malcolm X and Xavier is Martin Luther King. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? In the way that they look at things, right? And like just look how well thought out under the umbrella all of these characters are. They all got these amazing backstories. Like Wolverine has a backstory that you could sink your teeth in and get invested in. I could just name all of them. Peter Parker, you caught up in his story. Like he's just a teenager, you know what I'm saying? Trying to deal with his uncle dying, and he lived with his AT, never knew his parents, all that type of stuff. For me, Superman was like, it was to me, and no disrespect, you know what I'm saying?
Christopher
What's
Reeves.
not Christopher Reeves, but my man who invented, not Bob Kane, because Bob Kane invented Batman. Who was the cat that invented Superman? Um, God, well, please forgive me, but to the creator of Superman, I mean, it's just my opinion. Like I said, we all look at things different, but
Jerry
the like,
Siegel?
okay, so yeah, Superman to me is like lazy writing. It's like the explanations for everything for Superman is so lazy. So how did he get all these powers? He's from another planet. So what are his powers? He can do everything. Well, what do you mean everything? Everything. He's as fast as a speed and bullet. He can shoot lasers out of his eyes. He can like what? Like he could and then wait a minute. And then he don't even have a real disguise. People just don't know who he is because he takes off his glasses. Bro, what are we? Bro, I was an intellectual child, so I'm like, this don't make sense, bro. Like, what are we talking about? like, so
I gotta agree with you on the what you wrote online though. You did say that for DC, the bread and butter has always been Batman. Batman is the
Batman,
best thing because of the villains, has the best villains, everything, right? You know what I mean? But
yes,
outside of that, like, DC was kind of lacking in certain areas, but like
yes,
Marvel, you
bro.
you found just like so many heavy hitters.
So,
Yeah.
man, bro, think about it. Well, and I'm getting excited. So, as an Aries, I gotta calm down because I want to say too much all at one time. Hey, bro, I'm gonna take it one step at a time. For one, like I said in that post, for the people that's watching right now who probably don't follow me on Facebook or whatever, what I said was that feel like some of the source material of these characters at DC were not that interesting in the first place. Like I feel like Superman to me it's kind of bland. And then also, but also at the same time, I haven't read a lot of Superman. I tried to watch all the Superman movies. I watched Superman Returns. I fell asleep in the theater. Still haven't watched Man of Steel, and people told me that was real good. I need to watch that. But the latest Superman that James Gunn did, I tried to watch it. Like 10 minutes in, I was just like, man, I can't do this. This is torture. Like I can't. I did this, and it's not James Gunn. It's the character Superman. It's too cookie cutter.
I mean, did you
Just
like Smallville?
never. I didn't watch. I didn't give it a chance. I didn't watch it. But what I said in the post though, for y'all that care about this shit, um, I said like Supergirl didn't do good. Apparently, like it flopped. I feel like it was doomed to flop just because Supergirl is always gonna flop no matter what you do. I feel like Green Lantern flopped, and like when Ryan Reynolds played him, I feel like that was gonna happen regardless because I feel like the expectation for a superhero movie, you're basing it off of like heavy hitters like Batman and Superman or whatever the case may be. The bench for DC is not as known or well liked as the bench for Marvel. Iron Man came off the bench for Marvel. Now he's like a
A
household
starter.
name. You feel me? Like when we was growing up, the starters for Marvel was X-Men, Spider-Man, um, and I'm trying to think who else was on the starting lineup for Marvel. I want to say X-Men and Spider-Man was like the bread and butter for
Captain
Marvel.
America, maybe.
I still feel like Captain America was the sixth man, like as far as in cinema.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it was like X-Men had been proven that they could sell because of the cartoon.
Right.
The original X-Men cartoon that came out in 92 did really well. So they were a proven commodity. Then the Spider-Man cartoon that came out in 93 was a proven commodity. So it was like Marvel knew anything X-Men or Spider-Man, we gonna get some money. That's why Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man did amazing numbers. The original X-Men movie that Bryan Singer directed did amazing, phenomenal numbers because they had already proven that these commodities would sell. Iron Man cartoon was horrible when I was a kid.
You didn't
Like,
like
did you,
that cartoon?
bro? You like the Iron Man cartoon, bro? And I'm not judging. Are we talking about the same Iron Man cartoon? It came out in like
Yeah.
'95.
Uncle Phil was the voice for
Yeah,
War Machine.
Uncle Phil was War Machine.
James Avery. Come
Yes,
on.
James Avery. Was
You know what's so
War
funny
Machine.
is I'm so good at recognizing people's voices that like I recognized his voice anywhere, bro. Like anytime I've ever heard
Immediately.
him in a cartoon or something, I'm like, yo, that's Uncle Phil right there.
Hey, wait, was he the Mandarin or was he War Machine? I
He was
remember him.
War Machine.
He was War Machine.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, I watched it, and okay, maybe not horrible, but it wasn't as good as X-Men and Spider-Man, bro.
Yeah,
Can
no,
you give me
you're right
that?
about that. You're definitely right about that. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, but yeah, I just think that my theory was, I feel like if I could go to the offices of DC, I would say, listen, Marvel is about to do the mutant saga that after Avengers Secret Wars, it's about to be all about the mutants and X-Men and backstories. I think that DC should do that with the Batman universe, and I think it would be very profitable for them. Y'all already have proven that Batman is one of your highest selling properties. So, okay, break that property up into mini properties so that, like, let's say you have a whole movie about Harvey Dent, and at the end of that movie, he becomes Two-Face. And then by the time you get to the next Batman movie, you're going to be excited to see that Two-Face and that Batman go against each other in that movie, like what they did with the Avengers. So I just think that DC should go where the money is, and I think it's Batman. Man.
Outside of the Dark Knight trilogy, my main
Mhm.
issue with DC was just the CGI looks so weird to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Like where they did Aquaman and shit like that. Like I was like, yo, why does this look so fake? Like it just
Bro.
looks too much, you know.
Bro, same way I felt. I went to see Aquaman in theaters, dog, and I just remember being disappointed. I felt like it was long. I felt like it was long as hell for no reason, and I was disappointed.
And then they redid what's his name's movie, the Justice League, and put like 60 million into it and added more footage and shit. And I was like, why you guys do that for?
Yeah, yeah. That's the problem, bro. Because the thing we got to keep in mind at the same time is these comic book properties that we love and know so well are owned by business people that don't understand creativity. And whenever you have business people in charge of creativity, it's gonna end up being a fucking mess, man.
That's why you got to give it up to what's his name? That's in charge of Marvel, Kevin
Kevin
Feige,
Feige.
because
Yeah.
he was the one that was running around on the X-Men when they were shooting and shit like that, and was like having comics and was like, yo, you got to stay true to the comic and everything. Like, he had the vision.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
See, yeah. Yep. You gotta have a Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
You gotta have a Kevin Feige. Like DC, and that's it with anything too. Like with music, like make my best music when there's someone around me who's equally as passionate about my music, right? That person that's in the studio, like, yo, you got to give them that one kind of feel, like that, like every Jay-Z needs a Dame Dash at some point in their career. You know what I'm saying? Like every
Cheap teeth.
That shit is funny. That's funny. That's funny. You can't fuck it. It's funny, man. But you understand the reference I'm making. That you need a Kevin Feige, somebody who is passionate, who passionate about the project, bro. You wild. You wild boy. You wild boy. Bro. Bro, that song is crazy.
Yeah,
man.
But let me ask you, do you think that Marvel should have bought DC when it was up for sale recently?
I'm gonna go with no. And these might be two different scenarios, but I think it's kind of, you're a pro wrestling fan too, right?
Right.
Right. That's like when WWE bought WCW.
And ECW at the same time.
And ECW, right? And I remember at the time.
You didn't like the storyline of the invasion? You didn't like that?
That's sarcasm, right? Because you can't be you serious right now, bro?
You did not like seeing Booker T go against The Rock? Come on.
Bro.
Five time.
Exactly. You didn't like seeing Edge and Christian versus the Chronic, bro. Like that wasn't what you paid to see, bro.
What about the NWO against The Rock? You know, that was, I mean, there was some good parts, all right. You know, that was the last that I watched wrestling, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man. The invasion turned a lot of people off. But you see what I'm saying? Like, when you've been in competition, whether it be friendly competition or not, I feel like when one entity like conquers or buys the other one, how can people that have always been true blue Marvel people have the same enthusiasm for the properties that are DC? I don't know that, but maybe it don't work like that. Maybe I could but I'm just saying, like, what if, like Kevin Feige, right? He's been so involved in Marvel, right? So to say Kevin Feige would have the same passion for DC properties, I don't think it's like Vince McMahon buying WCW. It's like WWE is his baby. So it's like when he bought WCW, it was like, well, okay, I don't care that much about ECW and WCW. Like, I wanted to succeed, but I'm not gonna be as passionate.
Wanted their Batman.
Yes.
Right. That's pretty much.
That's it. There you go. And so I think the same would be true like with Marvel. No, I just think DC needs a Kevin Feige, somebody who's equally as passionate about the characters and the story arcs and all of that at DC as Kevin Feige is about Marvel.
All right. Who do you relate to the most as a superhero as a kid, and who do you relate to the most now as an adult?
Let me see. Can you still hear me? It was going out. You can hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
As a kid, and I think for the most part it's still true today. Batman. Like Batman. I got the bat signal tattooed on my wrist. You know what I'm saying? And I got Iron Man too, though.
Talking all this shit on DC and you relate to Batman the most. Come on.
Listen, bro. I always tell people, Batman is my overall favorite superhero and my favorite superhero like universe. But my favorite brand, like as far as like all encompassing, is Marvel. You feel me?
I agree with that.
Yes, but it would be Batman just because the similarities are, I experienced a lot of loss in my life. Like, you know, so I related to like Bruce Wayne becoming so filled with like anger that it made him do something extreme and take on a persona in order to do what he felt was right. And for me, that's what Jon Connor and music is for me. I experienced a lot of loss. I grew up in Flint, Michigan, seeing people die, before their time, and grew up watching just my whole city with the water crisis and the poverty and all of that. It forced this kid, Yahn Freeman, to do something extreme, to take on a persona, to try to do good the best way he knew how, which was to take on a persona and fight evil the best way that I could, which is through the music.
All right. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I would say have damn. I'm gonna keep it real. America Chavez. I'd be able to travel through the multiverse. I can just go to different realities whenever I wanted to.
What do you like about that?
Um, just I would love to be able to see, because that's so cool to think that she can travel to any variation of reality. Like, so I would love to see, like, damn, what would my life have turned out like if I'd have did this, or if I would have did that, like, or whatever the case may be. To be able to go experience different realities, I don't know. That's just ill to me. Like, I just think that's super, super
You want
ill.
like a
And,
Earth 42?
yeah, you know what I mean? And then I'd be able to go jump and stop certain catastrophes from happening and all of that type of shit. I think I'd enjoy it. Would be fun, and I still would be able to spread a lot of good, man.
Hey, that's dangerous, man. That's the butterfly effect. You change one thing, you change everything.
Yeah, you're right, though. You are right. When you're right, you're right. For real.
All right, but since our last interview, has the MCU been fixed?
I think X-Men 97 is amazing. Have you watched this?
Yeah.
X-Men 97 is crazy.
Right.
X-Men 97 alone is like, whoop, thank God, because it was getting tough. I told you last time, I felt like with Marvel, I was cheering for my favorite sports team and they kept letting me down. So it's like now I feel like they're getting back on track. I truly still believe that Doomsday and Secret Wars is going. I feel like Spider-Man, Doomsday, and Secret Wars are going to be the movies that make us as Marvel fans feel at peace again. I think X-Men 97 has done that. We not back on track yet until we see Spider-Man, because Fantastic Four was cool, but in some ways for me it wasn't that memorable. Like, it's cool, but it wasn't like a life-changing event. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I miss go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say I miss when a Marvel movie had me calling my friends, calling the homies, like, bruh, did you see? I saw Fantastic Four. I'm just like, all right, I saw it. Back to work. You know what I mean?
But what about them saying that Blade is gonna be in it, but it's gonna be Ali's gonna play him?
Really? Oh, snap. They really about to see, and the rumors that I had heard was
but
that
they shut down the original, the individual movie.
Right, that's what I heard.
Yeah, he's gonna be in one of these Avengers movies. And
I think that would be cool if we saw, because the premise of like Doomsday and Secret Wars is gonna be, at certain points they're gonna have to fight variants of themselves. So that would be interesting to watch him fight Wesley Snipes. That would be a way that I would love to see that. Like if the new Blade fought the old Blade, like, you know what I mean? And you had Tobey Maguire having to fight Tom Holland Spider-Man, and you feel me? Like, I would love to see that.
Yeah, but they need to stop shitting on my man Wesley, man. Come on.
Feel you. They need to, but I've heard that though. I've heard that Wesley Snipes might be coming back for Doomsday and or Secret Wars.
Oh man, that's dope. Because you remember Blade saved Marvel in a lot of ways.
Yes, he did.
Man.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did, man. He did. And I think that they should give him a proper send-off.
And that motherfucker Wesley don't get enough props too. The way that they was like, Blade ready to die. He's like, I was born ready, motherfucker. Like, it's too
He said,
smooth. He's too smooth, man. Come
yeah, yeah.
on.
He still got it, man. He had to remind y'all, man. That motherfucker said, and it's only ever gonna be one blade.
I know, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Straight up.
Shout out to
Straight up.
Wesley, man. Y'all
Shout
gotta
out to
let go
Wesley
that he,
Snipes.
he he was arrested for taxes and stuff. Come on, man. That was years ago. Get that man his
Yeah,
props
and
back.
fuck, it's just taxes. Like, I mean, it ain't like he was out here doing some wild shit. It's
I
just taxes.
know. Come on, man.
Yeah.
All right. Growing up in Flint, Michigan, would you say it was very diverse from a racial standpoint?
When I look at it now, I had a diverse experience because the schools my mother chose to send me to. But when I look at it now, because it was definitely a black people lived on this side of town, Spanish people lived on this side of town. Like Spanish people live on the east side of Flint. Um, and then you have rich white people that live on this side. So it is kind of it is kind of it is segregated. But my experience was integrated because I went to a private school. I went to Catholic school and elementary school and high school. So I grew up around all different races of people, but those were just the schools I went to. But in the neighborhood I stayed in, it was just all black people. In the schools that were in the neighborhood that I was in, it was just all black people. So Flint was very segregated.
What about like Asians and Middle Easterns and all that stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah. Middle Eastern people and Asian people. See, they Middle Eastern and Asian people are like well off in Flint. So they stay where like the rich white people stay. So there's like little outskirts like Flushing, Michigan, Lapeer, Michigan that are still like kind of by Flint, but these are like the nicer areas. Grand Blanc, those places that I'm naming right now are like the little subsections where like affluent, like more wealthy people live there.
What has your personal experience been with racism throughout your life?
Mm, I've experienced racism at different points in times in my life. Um, I remember I got caught nigga once, like you know what I'm saying, at school, and I got caught nigga. This is my childhood. I remember I was at church one time, and me and my cousins we went to the playground, and it was this big white kid, and he called me a nigga. I remember it affected me in a certain way, but you know my experience with racism is just like I've always thought it was stupid.
Right.
I've never understood it on any level. Why I never like, and that's why I think I do a lot of like research to try to understand like the origins of just life itself. Cause it's like, does racism go deeper than just is it deeper than like a skin color thing? Is there like some missing information or knowledge that goes back generations that explains why all of these people don't get along? And I'm still on that journey of like trying to understand it. But I just think stuff like that, like racism, is just stupid to me. Like, because I can't make sense. I can't make sense out of it because it's so many things we can learn from each other just as people. You know what I'm saying? And it's, to just totally shut off or cut off the fact that you could have a bond in a relationship or learn something from another culture just because of the color of their skin, I think is the most ignorant, stupid thing. I don't care who you racist against, whether it's black versus white or Spanish versus black or whites versus Spanish or Asians versus, I don't care. It's like it's all stupid to me, man.
That's how I feel too, man. It's like there's just no room for any hatred against anybody just off of that. You know what I'm saying? Like Dr. King's words is the most true. It's about the content of someone's character more than
You know?
anything. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Because your own people could be bad people. And
Yeah.
it don't mean just because like they the same color as you that they're gonna be good people and look out for you. Like I'm sure you've
You,
had experiences where people of other races have looked out for you, you
bruh.
know?
You are preaching the gospel. Some of the dirtiest shit that I've ever had done to me been done by my own people. And then I've been treated amazingly by some people that ain't like, you know what I'm saying, the same race as me. You know what I'm saying? But then by the same token, like you just said, I'm saying that to reiterate the point that it's good black people just like it's bad black people. It's good white people just like it's bad white people. It's good Asians just like it's bad Asians. Like you said, the quality of your character is what matters. So to just automatically group everybody into one category for the color of their skin is kind of ridiculous. And it's like I've seen that though. I've definitely seen it. I've seen in my lifetime, and I could speak on this because I am black, especially being in the music business. I've seen more black people fuck over black people in the music business than I have white people screwing over black people. I've seen that. I've literally seen it. Like, damn, like, and my mentality is I understand that we all come from the hood, we come from the ghetto and all of that type of stuff. So when I meet any black artist, never would I ever. My thing is when I meet young black artists, because I understand where they come from, I want to teach them. My first inkling is not to think, let me fuck them over and let me manipulate them because I know they don't know nothing. But that's the mentality a lot of times with black on black industry shit is, oh, you don't, they say this phrase a lot. It's not my business to teach you the business. Yes, the fuck it is. Like if you know this little dude coming from the ghetto and he don't have no knowledge, no information. He didn't have a fucking dad at home, barely had a mama at home. And then God blessed him with this talent that he don't know what to do with. That's getting him money that he ain't never seen in his life. He got more money now than his mama ever had, his granddaddy ever had. And he, of course, he don't know what the fuck to do with it. And you mean to tell me you sitting there rubbing your hands together ready to fuck this kid? It's like, no, your first instinct is let me pull him aside and teach him. Because I remember when I first got this amount of money, let me teach him how to handle that. Let me teach him about finances. Let me teach him about getting an account. You think let me fuck him because I got fucked? That's weird as hell to me. And that's what I've seen with like black on black industry shit. Whereas like it's insane to me. It doesn't make like I say, I don't fuck with that. Not to say that it ain't still white people as well doing crazy shit, but I'm speaking right now as a black man that saw black people doing fucked up shit in the music business. It's like I don't like the ethics of the music business, and that's why I try not to deal with industry people.
You know, the thing that really frustrates me the most is when people, like, we all know there's some truth to stereotypes, right?
Yeah.
But to use it and put it as blanket statements like all of these people are like this
Right.
because they have this skin color, or they all feel that way about, you know, this group of people. They all treat, you know, us like this. Like, that is really just sad to me. But, and you see that a lot on the internet in the comments, like the division, right? It's like one group against another group. And it's like, that's like, it's just, it's sad, bro. It's sad. But to build off of what you're talking about with the music industry, like, you would think as somebody, like, say for you, do you think like your thought is as someone that is black that got fucked over by somebody that is white coming into the music industry, that you would not want to normalize that and do that to your own people, but to do better and do the opposite?
Absolutely.
But it becomes normalized though, right? And that kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, where like, why do we as humans normalize certain things and just keep it going?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a part of music business culture. The fact that that's even a phrase, it's not my business to teach you the business, that says it all. Like that's crazy to me. Like, I'm not gonna ever pull the race card, but we talking about race. So when it like I'm the type of person I don't like to make things about race that isn't about race, but when something is about race, I'm definitely gonna stand my ground on it, right? And so it's like we understand the neighborhoods and the mentality that these kids is coming from, like when they get these record deals. And I do think it's a responsibility as an elder to set them aside and teach them about what they're getting into. That's just my standpoint. And that's how I choose to live my life anyway.
Cultural appropriation versus cultural appreciation.
Mhm. Meaning when other cultures take things from black culture but continue, finish your question so I can make sure I answer it for.
When you see somebody like a black person that loves anime or martial arts, white people who dedicate their lives to breakdancing, hip hop, or whatever, like, is your first thought like, oh, they got it from here, and they using it? They, is it for you? You looking at it from a negative standpoint, or you looking at it more from like they appreciating somebody else's culture?
Yeah, I look at it like you appreciate it. Like a situation like let's take Eminem, right? I think to me he's good at rapping. When I was a kid, like the fact that he was white, like I just thought like, oh, that's I thought that was cool. Like, oh, it's a white cat that could really rap because you could tell he really liked to rap. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like he was making a mockery out of it or he was just doing it just for the money. It was like you could tell he had a real love for it. So when I see stuff like that, like man, I know a little a girl, she's a daughter of a friend of mine. She loves anime. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's just so intrigued with like Asian culture. Like she just love it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like I think that that's dope and it's coming for her from a place of this appreciation. It's like damn, because that's beautiful, dog. When humans can do that. Like, I like that about what y'all do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me try that. Let me, like, bruh, I think that what's funny about me saying this, excuse me, I'm an Aries. I'm so sorry. This might fuck up the whole interview, but that just made me want to get some sushi after we finish this interview. Cause I was thinking to myself, damn, I ain't had no sushi in a little minute. But like for like for because I was talking about my own girl, and yes, because last time I saw her, we ate at a Japanese restaurant. Anyway, I digress. But I think that that's beautiful, man. Like if I seen a family of white people at a soul food spot eating some fried chicken and fucking black eyed peas and cabbage, I'd be like, that's it's good. They should eat it. It's good as fuck. You know, I think that
Don't you
good.
think that's the key to ending racism though? Like to learning about each other's cultures
Yes.
and appreciating each other's cultures?
Appreciating each other's cultures. Yes, I don't look at but at the same time, there are people that there are people that do steal and rob from the culture just for financial gain. Like,
Right.
so I do want to make the distinguishment that if you're doing it from a place of appreciation and showing love and like you, like I said, we appreciate each other's culture, that's one thing. But if you're making a mockery out of it or you're taking it and you're taking the worst parts of it just to try to make some money off of it, that's what I got a problem with.
So where do you draw the line for like genuine appreciation from appropriation then?
Mm, let's see. Trying to think if I can think of an example. Where I draw the line is where it's like my thing is we all grown, we all adults, man. Like sometimes I feel like in this world today, I be wanting to just look at people like, you know what the fuck you doing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's certain times that people do things where you look at them and you like, bro, you knew that was over the line, or you knew that was too much, or you knew like because I see like I you know, you asking me that question made me think about like the Kevin Hart roast and stuff like that. And it just it brought up interesting perspectives on that. But that's what that made me think of. But it's just like, where do I think the line is? I just think that your intentions always shine through. You know what I mean? I think you could feel somebody, like I said, with Eminem and rapping. You could tell his intentions are in the right place because of how much he cares about it. Um, I can't think of an example right now of somebody that I feel like went too far or did something like disrespectful or whatever the case may be.
What
But
about
it's
like
like,
hip hop media now? Right? Look at hip hop media, right?
mm,
Everything
mm,
is so salacious for the most part.
mm.
So
But see,
you look at one platform that is black owned, and then you
mhm,
look at something like No Jumper or whatever,
mm,
or Vlad TV and stuff, and they may be doing the same thing that the black platform is doing.
mhm. Well, I think it's wrong altogether. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's wrong to put criminals on a platform and glorify being a criminal and having these kids because like I got nieces and nephews, man, and they be listening to this music and they go out here, excuse me, and they try to imitate and emulate what they see on these platforms or whatever. I think it's all wrong. I don't if you black or white, I think that it's stupid to promote certain shit. I think it's stupid to promote that type of shit or to present it in a way to where it's glorifying it. Like people used to be mad at like Vlad TV, but sometimes I look at Vlad like I've seen him interview white gangsters like from the mob the same way that he interview rappers. So it's like I look at him as like he's just a that's what he do. He looks up your story, asks you the questions he feel like people want to know, and that's it. Um, but some of these platforms, yeah, when it's like people doing clown shit and promoting fighting or disrespecting women, like I've never seen like Vlad TV have like a guy and a girl on there and they start arguing and getting a fight and you know what I'm saying? That shit is weird. So it's like I think
But
that
that
type
brings
of
up the point of selective outrage though, too, though, right?
Mhm. In
Because
what
like
regard?
it's it's wrong is wrong, right is right, no matter what color you are in the platform, right? If you
Right.
look at it like, okay, it's ran by black people and it's not cool either way, so it shouldn't be cool regardless
Yeah,
if
I think it's
it's
wrong. Yeah, I think wrong is wrong. I think it's wrong when black people do it. I think it's wrong when white people do it. I think it's wrong when anybody does that. I think selling poison to people who still are at a place where their brains are developing as far as who they are and learning about life and the decisions that they're having to make. I think that it's wrong. I think it's wrong to intentionally sell poison to people, no matter what color you are.
why do you think though in hip hop specifically it is selective where it's like, okay, like people get mad at Vlad because he's white and he's
Winning.
doing similar type of interviews or whatever, you know what I mean?
Because I feel like us as black people, we have so little that we can call our own here in the United States of America that we we don't know what caused the fight for us, so then we'll just fight for anything now at this point. You know what I'm saying? We've gotten so beat down. Like whenever we had like leaders that was trying to lead us in the right direction, they got killed off. So it's like the generation of kids or this generation of people, we know we should be fighting for something, we just not sure what. So now everything becomes a fight. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm fighting. We don't want white girls to twerk, which is stupid, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck that. We fighting over it. White girls shouldn't be twerking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, now we fighting over it. It's like, because we know we should be fighting for something, but there's no guidance, there's no leadership to give black people direction. Like, no, 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 this is what you should be fighting for. This is what the fight is about. This is the cause. Man, you know what be pissing me off about that too? It's like, because I did mention the race card and shit earlier. I hate, it's like, then no, I ain't gonna go there. But it's I ain't gonna go there. But I will say that though. I think that we know we should be fighting for something, but we're not sure what. So now we'll just fight over anything, which is not a good thing. Because then when we actually do have something to fight for, I feel like other races look at us like there goes those black people just yelling for nothing again. They were yelling about this, and you know, we it's like we've started to yell and scream about the wrong things because there's no one leader or no one person giving black people direction, or there's nothing giving black people a history of this is institutional racism and this is what you should be fighting against. This is how the music industry is poisoning your children and this is what you should be fighting against. This is how school books are designed to teach you falsehoods about your history and this is what you should be fighting against. These are the things that were left out of the Bibles that y'all read, and these are the things that you should be fighting against. See, we as black people feel like something's missing because we question things. Where did I come from? What's my history? It's a lot of shit about being black where we're just lost. Our history in the United States starts with slavery. So you're born black and angry about something, but you don't know what. And if nobody teaches you where that anger comes from, you're mad about everything. Don't take anything else away from me. Don't take my dances away from me. Don't take my music away from me. That's how we all feel. Like that, you have to, as being a black person, you got to learn how to control that shit, and you have to give yourself knowledge of self, and you have to go on a journey to learn like these things. But I think that that's where it stems from, is that there's so many reasons that black people should be mad, but there's no voice out there saying, pointing out, no, 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 no. Fuck the dumb shit that they want y'all to be mad about. This is what the reason why you feel empty, or the reason why you feel lost as a black person, and the reason why you're angry that you grew up in a ghetto and you saw your brother get killed when you was fucking 12, and your daddy left the house when you was fucking 8, and your mama had a drug problem, and your auntie, and then the schools you went to didn't have up-to-date books, and the teachers that was there didn't give a fuck about you. The reason why this is like this, because there's something called institutional systemic racism that you need to be taught about. But because black people don't know that, and because they're not taught that, the kids of this generation, there's the anger still there, but they don't know where to point it. So it's pointed at everybody. I'm mad at you, Vlad. I know I'm supposed to not like white people, and you're white, so fuck you. Like, I know I'm supposed to not like this, and I know it's like it's a misguided anger. So because it's not directed at the exact problems that it should be, it's just we're angry at everything.
Wow, man, that was greatly put. Um, you know, because like when you look at, I feel like there's so many genres that black people have created, so many genres of music, right? And when you look at it, it's like rock and roll, for example. When you think of rock and roll, do you think of black people anymore? Not really. It's like
Right.
it's been replaced with like a white person. You think long hair, blonde hair, whatever, playing the guitar or something, you know what I mean? Shaking their hair and stuff like that. That's like kind of, and I think that there's this sensitivity that comes with hip hop because it's like you don't want that same image to be replaced. You know, when you think of hip hop, you still want to think
Yes.
black people were the creators of this, right?
Yes.
You know, but hip hop is like one of the most powerful things ever created. One of the most
Yeah.
amazing things that united so many people, right? So it's almost a sad at the same time because you see how hip hop would never be as big as it is if it didn't transcend skin color and go to other countries and just, you know what I mean? Like it's like it really transcended everything. And you see all these countries, all these other races, all these other people that don't even speak English that connect with this culture. But
Mm-hmm.
when you look online, you see like Japanese kids breakdancing, or you see like, you know what I mean? Like them in South America doing graffiti, doing something like, and you look at the comments, it's always cultural appropriation. They're stealing from us, right? And it's kind of sad though at the same time because it's like, I think that those people don't necessarily look at it like that. They're looking at it like, this is amazing. We appreciate the culture. You know what I'm saying?
You want to know what I think when I hear you say that? Because, like, right, let's say like Asian kids like breakdancing, right? They don't know that there's like, I'm gonna keep it real, groups of, and I love white folks, I love y'all, but there's groups of evil white people that like control like the distribution of music and how it's being presented. They're just appreciating the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like the Asian kid is not thinking like, okay, there's a group of white people that don't want us to know that black people created rock and roll. They just enjoying the culture. You feel me? But black people, again, I'm saying we're mad. We don't know what they do or don't know. You know, the Asian kid, he just think, what? I like your culture. But we're so damaged by all the things that have been taken from us that we can't even, like, it's so much anger inside of us sometimes we're not even willing to have the conversation. It's like, just stop doing it. It's mine. Y'all gonna everybody takes everything from, it's like a child. Like, y'all taking everything from us, and at the end of the day, you're not gonna give me my credit for taking it. So even if you do appreciate it, y'all not gonna say where y'all got it from or even acknowledge that we're the ones that came up with it. So that's when it becomes, just stop doing it, because we're so used to things being taken from us and we're never given the credit for it, that it adds to that anger that's already inside of us.
Yeah. I mean, I think a great example, right? Like, I don't know. Are you a big basketball fan?
Not as much these days. Back in the day, I was.
Do you remember Jeremy Lin?
Yeah, yeah. He played for the Knicks.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
There was the
Lin
Lin.
Sanity.
Yeah, yeah. Right. And
Mm,
then he bounced around the league, and then like he started playing for the Nets, right? And then
right.
he got like dreads, and he started doing his hair and stuff like that. And I
Oh,
remember Kenyon Martin had posted this video. You know Kenyon Martin, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and he was all like, "Can somebody tell this boy that his last name is Lin? That we get it. You want to be black, you're not black and stuff like that." And then going off on him because of his hair, right? And
Mhm.
then I remember Jeremy Lin's response to him was like, "Yo, I've been a fan of you for a long time. I had your poster up in my room as a kid and stuff. I think it's great that I could have dreads and you could have Chinese tattoos."
Damn, what is that?
So that was kind of like that argument, like, why is it okay, like, if you have Chinese tattoos, are we are like, you know, are Asian people looking at it like that's cultural appropriation, or like,
Oh,
but
damn.
you, like, you, the way that you put it so eloquently, the history in this country and the level of sensitivity that comes with it, you know what I mean? um like you said, it may come from being misguided, or whatever it may come from, right? You know, but I just think
Hmm.
that having these conversations, it's not about race baiting, it's about helping people understand,
Understand.
you
I
know, and
agree.
you can't resolve anything without having some kind of level of understanding, right? Having these difficult conversations.
Man, and because that situation that you just brought up, that could have easily been you said Kenyon Martin.
Yeah.
He could have easily just said in private, yo, Jeremy Lin, why do you have dreads? Like, can we have a talk? Like, just a conversation? Like, let's sit down. Like, I just want to know because when I see you with dreads, it makes me feel some type of way. I feel like you taking from my culture. Can you tell me what do they mean to you? Like, you know what I'm saying? And they could just that approaching it with peace instead of, coming at it judgmental. And they could have sat down, came to some type of understanding instead of it having to turn into a confrontation. But I think, like I say, mm, we are just so different in the way that we perceive and receive things and the way we communicate. But I'm just saying, even that situation could have just been easily handled if it was approached with understanding. Like, yo, why do you do that? I'm curious. Why do you do that? And they could have came to the table and understood each other.
What's so crazy is I think that years later they met and they kind of like resolved it, and he
Yeah.
admitted that he should have did that instead.
Yeah, that to me, that'd be a lot of problems with like industry shit. When people go on the internet and like you like 1 degree of separation from this person, you could get their phone number. You don't have to humiliate them, especially over something that y'all could talk about.
But then you see like the arguments of like, okay, black people dominate sports, right?
Right.
Basketball. And it's like, then like you see in the comments when white people get challenged, they have that kind of argument of, well, you guys didn't create basketball, so are you appropriating white culture because we created basketball, or you know what I mean, like those type of things. So it gets to like a weird kind of space where
Mm.
these type of conversations and debates happen.
What they were saying that because black people play basketball, just period. Like just because black people play basketball, they saying that.
Like when like when you see white people in hip hop and they're like, oh, you guys are trying to steal from the culture, you're appropriating black culture by being in hip hop rapping. And then like you see white people's argument in the comments back to it. It's like, well, you guys are playing basketball, you didn't create basketball, so are you appropriating basketball, like white culture then by doing that?
But see, here's the thing. That's different because hip hop was created in the ghetto for very like that's crazy. The game of basketball. Wait, whoa. Yeah, this is crazy. Hold on. They was comparing the game of basketball to hip hop.
Yeah. People, I'm telling you a popular narrative that gets used to like fight back when like when white people get hit with the whole like, oh, you're appropriating black culture by participating in hip hop and rapping. Then that argument of like, well, basketball is created by white people, and so
See the better that's crazy. See basketball so that's to say like the whoever the white guy is that created basketball, when he created basketball, was his intention for just white people to play it, or was he creating a game that anybody could play?
I don't know,
See,
but
because here's the thing, I feel like appropriation would be like what is like and I don't know if this is racist to say, I'm not trying to be racist, but like Jewish people, they have the dreidel, right? So let's say I got a dreidel and then I like started put I put like so I just started creating my own like to me that's appropriation. I'm literally taking something intended for a certain culture and then I'm making it my own as if the people that created it didn't create it. You feel me? Like if I just took a dreidel and put my own spin on it and I'm like, I created this, but Jewish people would be like, but that's a dreidel. We've been doing that for years. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, 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 nah. This mine. Like I did this. This is my version of it. Is mine. That's what we be feeling like with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's something that was created in black neighborhoods to give us something to do, to keep us out of trouble. Like it was like because we couldn't afford instruments is why we created hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It gave us something to be positive about. That to me, that's one of black people's mutant powers is that you could put us in any type of situation and we will find a way. We can be under the most dire situations and we will find a way to create something good out of it. Think about that. Hip hop was born in the projects, like where it's like y'all can't afford like good housing, y'all don't have good jobs, you can't afford instruments, and we like, well, fuck it. My mama got this record player in there And I know when I keep playing that loop over and over and make everybody dance, and then my uncle be talking shit and rhyming, and he be rhyming on beat. It's like that's us, like in poverty, having to come up with something that would help us because we didn't have shit. So to have that taken from us, we wasn't. It's like other cultures is looking at hip hop like we like the guy that created basketball. He probably created that shit in a he had a suit and tie on with a white picket fence and this game and I'll create this. Hip hop was created because y'all ain't give us shit else. So it's like, damn, y'all don't even want us to have that. We wasn't even supposed to have this. And we
Mm,
ended up making something that became a multi-billion-dollar business on accident. It wasn't like hip hop got created with the same spirit that basketball did. Hip hop got created out of necessity. I don't want my brothers to kill each other, so we need to fucking figure out something to do with our time. My like listen to those early raps like The Message. Roaches in the front room, rats in the back, junkies in the alley with a
baseball
baseball bat.
bat. Hmm.
What? That ain't fucking that. Then people say that's lyricism. No, that's what he saw that day. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So now it's like you trying to take that from us too. We wasn't, this was not even something y'all gave us. That's like, giving the slaves chitlins to eat and shit, giving us pig guts. We figured out how to make that shit taste good. We wasn't supposed to like chitlins. Like, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't supposed to like pig ribs and all this other shit. We just make a way out of no way. So it's like, it's almost like y'all didn't give us shit. So then we made something out of the bullshit you gave us, and y'all want to take that too? That's how we feel.
Does being black automatically mean you are more entitled to hip hop culture or that you know hip hop versus, for example, like say somebody's Indian, they spent their whole lives listening to hip hop and rapping. Does that mean, and then like a black person is went to private school, didn't listen to hip hop? How do
I
you,
think
where's the you get what I'm trying to say, right? The discernment like of like,
absolutely. So yeah, I do. Because I think being black, you're born into hip hop whether you like it or not.
mm,
Like you understand, hip hop it came out of poverty. Like y'all other like not just saying y'all, like I'm saying like, but yeah, all the other races get to enjoy the music. We had to live this shit. Like the pain that, like I said, roaches in the front room, junkies in the alley with the baseball. He saw that. A white person in the suburbs got to just listen to it. Oh, it's a catchy tune. That's his life. When he left wherever he fucking was recording that at, that's hip hop. We can narrow it down to like the five elements and all of that stuff. But the other sixth element is the poverty element that was forced upon us that made us have to come up with five elements in the first place. Everybody else get to have the five elements, but they get to have a white picket fence, a dog, two-parent household, like all this type of shit. We didn't get to have that. So yeah, if you black, Fuck the Police by NWA. If you're a black person that's born in the suburbs, you're still gonna have to deal with the things that Ice Cube was talking about on that song. Uh, all of these things that like come from hip hop is like hip hop is something that's being lived. Like when we talk about the culture, when you black, you're kind of just born into it, whether you like it or not. And other races, I feel like you get to study it and enjoy the music and those type of things. But at the same time, I'm passionate because I am black and we're talking about hip hop. But I think that's the same with like other cultures as well. It's like there are things about each country and each culture that if you're not born there, you can study it and you can be around it, but still, yeah, you would more so have a right to claim ownership to it. If I lived in Ireland and became an Irish citizen, it's still certain things about St. Patrick's Day that's just still not gonna hit me the same way because that's not, it's not me. So I think that's true with all cultures and all races. And yeah, for sure. I think because hip hop was born in the hoods of America, I think if you born black in America, you definitely are more entitled to ownership, yes, of hip hop. Yes.
well, I hope that whoever's watching this in the comments, you know what I mean, this gives you guys a little bit more of a understanding of why some of those feelings come about when these conversations get had, Most definitely. I
Yes, I
think,
hope so,
yeah.
man. Like, I hope so. I hope this dialogue helped the people in the comments, man. Like, for real. The goal to all of this, y'all, is let's love each other. Let's appreciate and accept everybody's culture. And it don't take nothing to just have conversations with people, man.
Last time we talked, you mentioned that therapy made you realize a lot of your struggles trace back to your relationship with your father,
Yes.
right? Looking back now, has your perspective on your father changed as you've gotten older?
It's probably worse than when I was little. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's probably like, yeah, I don't speak to my father. So the thing is, like, for me, because he wasn't really, he was like there from the ages of 1 to 12. And even then, it was like a lot of stuff going on in the household. But it was just like, as I got older, now that I'm an adult, now that I'm the age now that he was like then, it's like, spend time with my nieces and nephews, and I could tell how much it impacts them that I spend time with them, right? And I can't imagine disappointing them. I see that just by me taking the time and kicking it with them, it just makes their whole day. They like little like computers. They just taking in all this information. And so I love pouring into them. So the fact that my father like really didn't make that much of an effort to be in my life from like 13 on, like, and it was kind of like me like making sure we had a relationship. It's like I can't imagine having a son and me not doing everything I could to see him as much as possible. And knowing that I grew up in Flint, Michigan, that at one point was like the murder capital, and I didn't hear from my dad like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Our relationship was pretty much on the telephone. I can't imagine that. I couldn't imagine leaving my son in one of the most dangerous cities in the United States and just flipping a coin heads or tails. My son could die today or not die today. I don't give a shit. I'm out of there, so I don't give a fuck. So it's like, yeah, I realized how those things did play a part in my development. And also the way I look at it now as an adult is it makes me want to love on my nieces and nephews even more because I know that the things that I struggled with and I had to learn on my own that I didn't learn because I didn't have that male perspective in my household growing up. There were so many things that I feel like a father is supposed to teach a son that I had to like break a whole bunch of girls' hearts to figure out. You know what I'm saying? I had to go through a whole bunch of like not being able to know how to read certain people's character because a man is supposed to teach you certain things. And it's like those things I got left to the wolves with. And I would never do that to like my nieces or nephews or if I had a child. So yeah, it definitely had an impact on how my perspective developed as an adult. And what it taught me was I know how important our role is to children. And so any child that looks up to me, I always make sure I go the extra mile. I would never abandon a child.
You know, it's interesting because I had interviewed this other rapper named the Bad Seed recently, and
Mhm.
he spoke about the same thing. He said that with his dad, he loves his siblings outside of that his dad had outside of his mom, you know, but he wishes that his dad was there and was actually being his father because it's like he said, I shouldn't have to learn how to fight from
Yep.
the streets. I shouldn't have to, you know, look at Bill Cosby and think that this is my dad, pretend this is my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
certain key things like you're talking about, like that a father is supposed to teach you. Man, roll the clip.
There's a part of me that's like, yo, I wish you would have been there for me. You would have been my father. And that instead of going and making all those damn kids, I wish you would have been my father. I mean, shout to my siblings. I love them, but I wish you would have been my father. And I shouldn't have had to learn how to be a man from my mother, from the streets, and from rap music. I shouldn't have had to learn that. I should have learned financial literacy from you. I should have learned how to fight from you, not from my mother. I should have learned certain things from you, and I didn't.
It's true. I didn't know how to talk to girls. I didn't know. I had to learn that from the homies. I had to learn style and fashion from the guys that dated my sister. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got like man to man like advice from like the guys my sister would date. Like they would, hey, little man, like, you know what I'm saying? This the shit my dad supposed to be doing. Like, you know, so I agree with that artist you said that you just mentioned. What was his name again?
The Bad Seed, yeah.
The bad, see, I agree totally with him because that was my experience as well. Like I had to take what little pieces of manhood like, and understanding what it meant to be a man from these cats. When that's where your father is. My mother did the best she could do, but at the end of the day, she's a woman. She don't know how to teach a boy how to be a man. And so now that I'm older, I understand it. And like I say, for the little kids that look up to me, my nieces, my nephews, I try to do everything I can to be in. And when they want me in their life, I'm there, and I try to never disappoint them.
When was the last time that you spoke to your dad?
Oh man, what it got to be like 3 years at this point.
And was there a reason why you guys decided to not have a relationship anymore?
It's really quite simple. I asked him a question. The question I asked him was, how were you so comfortable not being involved in my life all those years? And for me, all he had to do was take accountability and say, "Damn, son, I never looked at it like that. I'm sorry." He wouldn't even say that. It became a bunch of excuses and avoiding and dodging the question. And it was like, nah, it's like, damn, I forgave you all those years. I would make up excuses in my mind, like, and I would give him the benefit of the doubt. But when it came down to it and I became a man and I asked the question, it was like, oh, you weren't there because you didn't want to be. Like it wasn't like a real reason. It's just you had a kid that you didn't want and you dipped and you didn't have to be responsible because my mama wasn't gonna let nothing happen to me, and you just went off and lived your life. I don't respect that. My father told me one time in a conversation, um, he said, interact with people based off of who they are as a person, not the title that they are. You know, that's my mama, that's my daddy, that's my cousin, he said, take away the title and see if you will fuck with that person. And from the way that he did me, like, you know what I'm saying, and his other children, it's like, you're not the type of dude that I will fuck with if you weren't my father. I don't fuck with people that don't take care of their kids. I don't fuck with people that, you feel me? I don't fuck with those type of people. So for me, it was just like, all right, you go your way, I go mine.
So he actually did at least teach you that one good thing, though.
Yeah, we had conversations on the phone for sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I did learn that.
I mean, like, how has it impacted your personal relationships?
It just makes me love people harder. Like, it makes me love people harder.
But
Because like I
did
said,
it
I
have a
can't. Yeah.
negative like effect on like your romantic relationships or anything like that?
You mean before me and him quit talking or after?
Yeah, before, like throughout your
Yeah, it
life, him.
did. It did. I'll tell you when I realized that it did. I was dating a girl, beautiful girl. Then I shot her out. Well, no, because it's a personal story. So okay. So we were in an argument, right? And I found myself raising my voice, like I was yelling. Like, why the fuck would you do that? And why didn't you? Right. And in that moment, Chop, I was like, I'm yelling at this girl because my dad wasn't around. And you might say to yourself, damn, Jan, how you come to that conclusion? Because I thought to myself, if my dad was in the house when I turned like 13, 14, 15, when I first started dating girls, and he heard me on the phone yelling, the man is supposed to say, hey, you talking to a girl like that? You don't talk to no girl like that. You don't raise your voice at no female like that. But that wasn't there. So even at fucking 30 something, I got these habits that would have gotten, like, you know what I'm saying, dealt with when I was 14, 15, 16, but the motherfucker wasn't there. So I had to learn in real time, like, oh shit, nobody ever told me, bro, you're yelling, like you're being emotional right now. There's no reason to yell. There's no reason to, like, you can like calmly communicate with this woman. Like, nobody ever taught me that because I grew up in a house with all women, my sister and my mama. So, you know what I'm saying? My mother handled problems how she handled problems, and women will be women. So I'm like, oh shit, that's what was in me. Like, and when confrontation come, it's immediate. What the fuck? Why the fuck would you da da da? You feel me? So in that moment when I found myself yelling, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, had my dad been there those years, he would have heard me yelling at a girl when I was like in my teens and stopped me, but it never happened. So yes, there was times that I realized the long-term effect. So think about, now I'm a smart cat and I'm able to evolve and grow past it and correct myself and take accountability. Think of all of the other little boys, little black boys out there who daddies is not there and they're reacting like that, but they're doing worse shit. They're hitting females. You feel me? They're fucking pulling up and shooting dudes' houses up over females. because there's no man in the household who got taught what it was to be a man.
Man. Do you still want kids at this point?
Bro, I'm really to the point where I don't know. I told a girl the other day, a friend of mine, I said, I want whatever God want me to have. Back when I was younger, I used to say I really want kids, but now it's like I just want true love. And whatever that looks like for me is cool. If I get with a girl and we have kids, cool. If I get with a girl, she already got kids, cool. If I get with a girl and we like, fuck it, let's just live our best life together for the rest of forever, cool. I just want love and whatever that looks like for me. And so, that's how I look at it. So, but also along with that, beyond just the father thing, I think that the world that exists today, it's so hard to combat all of the toxic influences that are going on right now for these kids. As much as you could try to pour into your children, it's so many influences surrounding them: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, school, other kids whose parents might not be as involved in their lives and as involved in what they're letting influence their kids, and then those kids start to influence your kids, and then your kid just wants to be in the cool crowd, and they start making bad decisions or doing or being influenced by these other people and other outside influences and stuff like that. So it's just like that kind of worries me and concerns me, where it's like, how much you know how much control do we really have over the development of our children when it's so many other things besides the voices of the parents that's influencing them.
I think though that you would be a great dad though, man.
Thank
And
you,
I
man.
feel like honestly, like somebody would be lucky to have that wisdom passed upon them, right? So it's almost like, damn, like we need that. You know what I'm
You
saying? Like there's a kid out there that really do need that though, So I get what you're saying though, but do you think in any capacity that as a black man, do you feel like I want to help fight the stereotype more and show that, I can inspire people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, be there for my kid. I do, man. Like I've always wanted to, but it got to be with the right woman too. You know what I mean? So I just don't want to have a kid with
Absolutely.
just anybody, and that's half the battle as well. So I'm still a single man, and hopefully I find that woman, and we could read out the same playbook, and we could raise us some little ones. Now, if that's in the books for me, man, I would love that. But at this point, because it was a point in my life where I used to really be, championing that. Like, I really want children. I really want. Now I just want to serve the world the best way that I possibly can, man. However that is.
Right. What's meant for you is going to happen for you, right?
There it is.
Yeah. They say in life you need to forgive 4 people. Number 1, your parents.
Mhm.
Do you feel that you've forgiven your parents for their shortcomings?
Yes. Because even though I don't speak to my father, I forgive him because I look at him and I be like, he didn't he didn't know no better. It was a lot of things that happened in his childhood that affected the man that he became. So it's certain like so I definitely, yeah, I forgive him. Yeah. My mother was awesome. I don't think she's ever done nothing to me that needed forgiveness for. My mother was always my number one fan. Is still to this day my number one fan, the most supportive person in my life. Like, my mother's amazing. I don't think she's ever did anything that I ever needed to forgive her for. But my father, I forgive him. I don't need to speak to him, but I forgive him.
Hmm. And number 2, the people that left you, old friendships, relationships. Kanye said it best, right? Like people in your life for seasons and everything
Hmm.
happens for a reason.
Uh-huh.
What about
Um,
those?
Just the people that's been, yeah, I actually have. Yep. You know, yeah, I have. I've actually had like a lot of cool conversations recently with people that I hadn't talked to in a long time because it was just on my spirit to reach out to them and make sure I was accountable. And because a lot of times us as people, man, we are the star in the movie of our life. So sometimes it's hard for us to see that sometimes we played a part in why some shit didn't happen or didn't work out or why a relationship didn't go the way it was supposed to. But when you're young and immature, it's everybody else's fault. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But then, over time you be like, damn, I I I could have said that better, or oh, I could see how they thought that when I did this. You feel me? And so lately I've had some really cool conversations where I can say, not just answering your question, I'm living that. I actually have forgave um, people that I didn't ever think that I would ever talk to again. And it feel good.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's like a weight lifted off of you.
It is, man. It is.
Yeah. Number 3, your enemies, the people that actually really tried to hurt you purposely.
Yep, I forget them too. Absolutely. I always look at them like everybody's journey is different. And just because I never suffered from having the spirit of like jealousy, envy, wrath, pride, all of those type of things, I can't stand in judgment of other people's journey and the demons that they have to fight on the road to their growth and development. So it's like, I always tell God, like, if I God only put on God only puts on you what you can bear. He won't put more on you than you could bear. So if I needed to be the vessel that in that moment had to suffer for that person's growth, it's cool with me, long as it was for the greater good. As long as somebody came out of it better and a more mature person or whatever the case may be, and God felt like that's an honor. If God felt like I was strong enough to take it, that Jan, I kind of need you to take this one because they need this. They need you to be the vessel that, they experience this certain, whatever they feel, hatred. They gotta hate you for some reason or something for them to grow as a person. It's like, all right, long as it's for the greater good, I'm cool. So yes, short answer, yes, I forgive even I don't feel like I have enemies. So anybody that's ever disliked me or tried to do me harm, yes, I forgave them probably right after they did it because they don't know no better.
And number 4, what do you think is number 4?
Myself. Yep. Yeah, I actually have. For a long time, I didn't know. I would be really hard on myself, like about certain stuff, even shit that ain't had nothing to do with me. I would just take on like so much, like just responsibility for a lot of shit that really didn't even have nothing to do with me. But I could say, yeah, I have forgiven myself. Absolutely.
That's beautiful, man. I want to ask you about my favorite song of yours, or one of them,
What's up?
right?
What's cracking?
Missing, that came out in 2012 on While You Were Sleeping.
And I'm missing you, real talking. I can't lie about it. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I
yeah,
if
okay.
I saw you now and looked you in your face, I wouldn't know what to say. I got the nerve to say, let's work it out when I pushed you away.
Mm,
Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now,
Wow.
how do you think, your childhood wounds showed up in your relationship after you analyzed it in therapy?
Well, it's definitely like I told you that thing when I realized about when I was like when I raised my voice at the female the one time. Like that was one of those moments that it was definitely based off my childhood and the lack of the presence of my birth father. Um and I want to make sure I answer your question directly. So you said the experiences that I went through as a kid, how did they affect my relationships?
Yeah.
Um Yeah, I think also I was a very insecure person because even though I had become Jon Connor, when I was a kid, I was like I had like issues like with I was like a emotional eater. I still can be at times. Like so when I was a kid, there would be times where I was depressed and I would eat a lot. And then it was times when I was depressed and I wouldn't eat at all. It's like always these extremes with me, right? So when I started becoming like Jon Connor and shit, because I still felt like the little chubby kid, it was like I felt like I didn't know how to handle women. I didn't know how to be honest. I didn't know how to be honest with myself. I didn't know how to express myself because I was still coming from the perspective of a very insecure person at the time. So there's a lot of times that's why people ask me certain things about certain times in my life. Like I don't remember those times as fondly as certain people as other people do because I knew the internal struggles that I was dealing with. So yeah, as a kid, like dealing with just dealing with how I view my perception of self, right? It was like a lot of shit about me that I didn't like about me. So when a girl told me she liked it about me, I didn't believe it. Like I thought it was a lie. I thought it was some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I thought, what are what are you lying on? Why you lying to me? Like it was bad. Like it was pretty bad. But all of that stemmed from having a lack of confidence as a child. But I got over that, thank God. But yes, that's definitely something that played a part in my relationships when I got older, is that I had to find confidence. Even being this rapper and all this other type of shit, I didn't have like, when it came to like women, I still was very insecure. Not jealous of like other dudes insecure, just I didn't understand what women saw in me because I still saw myself as the little chubby insecure kid.
Got you. Because in the song Missing, you talk about like, I can't be like what you want me to be, or I can't commit like the way that you want me to, right? Like that's the one thing that you want from
Mhm.
me. Do you think that you were pushing people away before they got a chance to hurt you?
I think, that's a good question. I think I was pushing people away because I don't like to hurt people. I knew that I was still irresponsible. I knew that the little chubby boy was about to be, and I'm just keep it real, jumping from girl to girl because he was not used to getting attention from girls. You know what I'm saying? So when I started getting an abundance, like I never was a sucker when it came to like chicks. And what I mean by that is like in high school, I did pretty well. Like, you know what I'm saying? I did my thing because I lost a little weight in high school and I got, you know what I'm saying? I got my swag about myself. But it was like, but even still, it was like when you become an artist, I always tell people, when you become an artist or an entertainer, it's the equivalent to being a beautiful woman. You know how like dudes is throwing dick at beautiful women all day.
Mhm.
As a guy, we're the ones who have to like go out and try to catch the girl. We're the ones who that are like on the hunt. We're not used to being the hunted. So it's like when you become an artist, it's like every girl that you ever liked likes you now. Now girls you seen on TV like you now. Everybody now, everybody likes you. And so that part of me didn't know how to control that or handle that. So at that particular point in time, I knew I was about to be jumping from girl to girl. I knew at that particular point in time, like, damn, like, what the fuck? I got the sauce right now. So it was like, I didn't want to hurt anymore. I didn't want to hurt nobody. Like, I really didn't. So that girl in that particular song, it was like, um, I knew I couldn't commit to her and I was being honest with her because it's like as much as I wished that I could have been a solid dude at that time, the honest truth was I knew I was still gonna fuck with other girls. And she didn't deserve that.
Right, right.
So yeah, so I had to push her away for her own good. She was the type, the girl that song was about. She was the type of girl like if she loved you for real. And so for me, it was like I'm not about to do this to this girl. Like I could see that she's like ready for marriage, and I still know I'm about to be out here playing and doing what I do, and having a good time. So I had to let her go, and I had to make the tough decision for her because she wasn't gonna do it, and I wasn't gonna keep hurting her like that.
And you made the beat and sample Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper, which is one of your favorite
Hmm.
songs of all time.
Yes, it is.
Right. So like I've heard
Yeah.
you say that like even if you're in a happy mood and you hear that song come on, you instantly get sad. Why is that?
The chord progression, the way that the tone of Cyndi Lauper's voice, um, if we're gonna go really, really deep, probably because mm, it could be some shit too. Like if we really gonna get psychological about it, maybe I heard it when I was a kid at a time of distress in my life. Um, but yeah, it's just the chord progression, the way she sung it. And yeah, I think it's just a very beautifully written song. But yes, it touches the core with me. If you lost it, you look, and you will find me time after time. I will be waiting time after time. That's just yeah. You know what? And if I'm really gonna give you like a psychoanalyst of my brain, the thought that's coming to my head right now is I think that's because that's the type of love I've always yearned for, but I don't think I've ever had it. So for me, it's like, I've always felt like I gave up everything to chase the dream of music. I've had so many relationships where the girl could have probably been my wife, but I sacrificed like working on that relationship to chase music. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been the type of person, like, I'm not gonna make a girl stick with me through a bunch of pain and agony if I know I'm not gonna give her the right amount of time and effort and energy. So I think that that song strikes a chord with me. Is that's the type of love I desire. That no matter what, time after time, I'll be there. But I don't know that I've ever experienced that.
It's so crazy because when I heard you say that that was one of your favorite songs, I was like, damn, man. Me and John just got so much in common. It's
My
crazy.
dog,
I was
my
like,
dog,
because like,
my dog.
as hip hop fans, we get so fixated on like lyricism and complexity, but the simplicity of the lyrics and the song structure is what makes that song so genius,
Yes,
right? Like the
yes,
way that it's
yes,
written, it's just like it's beautifully written, bro.
yes,
Right? Well, what was
yes.
that recording session like? Because it was a tense recording session, right?
With on the Missing You song,
Yeah,
I can remember that session vividly. I was about to go on tour with an artist by the name of Big Crit. And I remember we was at my man Rio the Ghost studio. And I was trying to finish while you were sleeping. And I finished like 4 songs in one session. It was Missing You, Never Left, Still Here. And it was one more we did that night. That just all back to back to back. Cause I had to finish these songs before I went on tour. Cause I wanted the project to come out while I was on tour. So I do remember it. And it was me, my man Maserati Rick, who was my engineer at the time, and my man Rio the Ghost. And I just remember made the beat, and everybody in the room knew who it was about because she was a girl that she used to be around us all the time. And yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't like cry in the session or nothing, but I just remember that it was intense just because I knew I wanted to say things to her in that song that I didn't get to say the last time we had spoke on the phone.
but they were surprised that you were gonna do it, right? Because like they knew who it was about and how personal it was.
Yeah, I'll tell you something that's a fun fact. I won't tell you who it is, but the girl that the song is about is actually in the Missing You video. She's not the lead girl that's in the video, but she's like in the background of the video. Like she came to support the song. And that was really cool of her. Like I said, she was a really cool girl. Like just a really solid girl. Yeah, so the girl it's about is actually lurking in the background of the Missing You video. It's like that was wild. Now that's the real crazy part about Missing You is that I wrote it about her and we broke up and stayed broke up and she came to the video shoot to support the song.
Did she ever tell you her reaction to the song when she first heard it?
That's been so long ago I can't remember. I think I remember her being flattered by it and yeah, and if she came to the video, I think I remember her just being like just she was just her being proud of me outweighed her hurt that she felt.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Now you must be a Cyndi Lauper fan because you sampled "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" on your song "Girls" off of season 1, right?
Yep, 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 yep. I did. And you know what? I sampled that for the real like crate diggers. Like I did an album, a project called The Calling Part 1 Judgment Day, I think it was called. And I sampled Girls Just Want to Have Fun. But that version of it was for my mother and my sister. So if somebody could find that, they a G for that. But yeah, I'll probably I'm gonna always go back to those songs and flip them different ways because the feeling of those Cyndi Lauper records never get old. Cyndi Lauper, Carole King, to me, like she make music that make me just the tears gonna come out whether I want them to or not. Um, yeah, Whitney Houston got a couple that I'm gonna involuntary cry every time. Um, yeah, yeah, but yeah, 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 yeah. Girls just want to have fun. That was girls with me, Brandon Bars, my cousin Cass Swift, and my dog Link. That's when we were at the Blue City Club.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now you don't write your lyrics down, right?
No.
I know people have said this to sound cool, but you're adamant that, you're not just saying it for that reason. So what exactly is your process? Like, what is your process? Because other artists, I know like Wayne, he records it line by line. Jay kind of
Mm.
mumbles and like builds it in his head. Like, how do you do it?
So I experimented with all the different types of it. Like for a while, I used to do the Jay-Z thing because like I at the time it's like I just wanted to get better at my craft, and so it's like at the time it was like not writing was on this pedestal. Like, and I'm like, then I need to learn how to do that. So it was a while that I would do the Jay-Z thing where I would listen to the beat and then just okay, keep saying the lines and memorize it. But then I'm like, this is inconvenient. Like it was like because I don't really have a good memory, period. So so I'm like, I'm not doing this for whole albums, bro. So I'm like, okay. And so what ended up making me stop writing it was around the time of I did a mixtape called the Blue Album. It was the project immediately after season 2, and so I was trying to write, but the lines was coming faster than my hand was moving, and I was getting frustrated. I'm like, I know what I want to say. It's taking me too long to write it, so I'm like, yo, I just want to get it out. So I started doing what that Lil Wayne and Ti like the way they do it. It's like so that's my process. As soon as I have to write to it, as soon as I hear the music, because I'm saying exactly what I feel about the music, the exact moment that I hear it. So it's what's happening is the music comes on, the words immediately come to my head. I hit record, and whatever that first shit is that come to my head, that's the record.
So do you re-record it? Like you listen to it back and like you practice it and then you re-record it, or like whatever you laid down first right there, that's it?
Yeah, yeah, whatever I lay down, that's what it is.
Wow. And
Yep.
I know your mom taught you to always trust your first mind, like your natural instinct. So that's why
Yes.
you kind of went that route, right?
Absolutely. That's a fact. Yep. Go with your first mind. So everything that y'all have heard from me since 2011 was my first mind. Like,
That's amazing, man. So what do you do then for when you're writing for other people?
so I'll record it and then give them the demo.
Oh, just like the reference track.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yep.
All right. My last question, man.
Mhm.
If you could relive one day out of your whole life, what day would it be?
Mm. Mm. Damn. I had some cool times, man. Um,
Ah.
um, mm, I would say, I would say, yep, WrestleMania 30, New Orleans, 2014.
Wow.
Yep, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was with the people I wanted to be with at an event I wanted to be with, around the energy I wanted to be around, and nothing went wrong. That was like a perfect day. That was literally the a perfect fucking day of all the experiences in my life that I've ever had. In this moment, when I just think of if I could relive one day, it would be WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans. Like I said, I was that the thing about that, bro. I was everything was right. I was with who I wanted to be with, as far as the people that I was around. The trajectory of my life was exactly where I wanted it to be. I was at WrestleMania, which for the kid in me was insane, right? Everything about that day was perfect.
So that even triumphs any experience you had as a little kid or anything like that. Like when you were younger with your mom, anything like any of those days.
Yeah, like absolutely. Like, yeah, because if I get to pick one day, yeah, yeah, that I get to relive, yeah, it would be that.
Who was on the
Because I've never
card?
had it was when the streak got broken, when Brock Lesnar broke Undertaker's streak.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
Daniel Bryan. It was Yeselmania when Daniel Bryan beat Randy Orton and Batista in the same night.
Damn.
It was John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. I'm trying to remember who else was on the card. But I just remember having so much fun. Like, yeah, nah. Because as a kid, all those days kind of just get meshed into like childhood. I can't remember a specific day
Right.
like of my childhood. You know what I mean? I just remember having a lot of fun as a child. But what if I like picked the wrong day as a child and it's a day I got my ass whooped or something? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So WrestleMania 30, I can remember it. It happened it happened in enough time ago where I can remember how dope it was. 2014. Like I could really say that was probably a perfect day. Now, if I thought about it even longer, I probably could think of some more days where I'd be like, yeah, that was a perfect day too. But in this moment, yeah, I was with who I wanted to be with. I was where I wanted to be. I had not a care in the world. I was happy. I was drinking liquor out of one of those grenade neon. When you go to New Orleans, it's this place that got like these neon grenade like liquor drinks, bro. We was toe up the whole day, and I don't even drink or smoke like that. But that's how happy I was when I went to WrestleMania 30. So
Damn.
man, yeah, yeah. And then what? Then the whole energy that was in New Orleans because there was a bunch of wrestling fans on Bourbon Street. So even before and after the event, motherfuckers is in the middle of the street, and it's just it was just a perfect fucking day, man. So for me, if I could relive one day, WrestleMania 30.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. All right, John, man, I just want to thank you so much for your time, bro. Is there anything else you want to say to the
Anytime,
people before we go
man.
ahead and wrap it
Chop.
up?
Listen, man, it's my pleasure. It is always dope to talk to you, man. I love doing this. Like I said, I hate the word interview, man. We just be chopping it up and having a conversation, man. You feel me? And I truly enjoy it. You know, these interviews will outlive all of us. So it's cool that people get to not only see us talk about unity and understanding and communication, we live in it. We're an example. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We come from two different cultures, two different states, two different parts of the country, bruh. And they watching two dudes, you know what I'm saying, just vibe and bond because they just solid dudes having a good time with pure intentions. 1 second. Excuse me, with pure intention. So it's really dope that we get to do this and like live the things that we talk about and preach about through our conversations because we're doing the action that coincides with the things we saying. So I'm saying, as always, thank you, bruh. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to always do the research when we had these interviews. Thank you for not just asking me the same questions that everybody always asks me. Thank you for being a solid cat. My projects 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is out right now. The Artist Yahn Freeman. Then it's a whole slew of Jon Connor projects that y'all need to go check out. Go visit my home site, www.connorculture.com. That's CONNORCULTURE.com. Y'all can go get merch. Y'all can check out my season 1 of my docu-series, The Road to Legendary. Just all of my projects is on there if you want to support directly. I am an independent artist, so every piece of word of mouth, every dollar spent, every piece of support counts, and I truly appreciate it. And it all goes back into my company, so I can give y'all the best product as humanly possible. I love y'all, and Chop, you already know what it is, my dog. Like whenever you want to do this, I'm with it.
Appreciate you, my bro. Much love, man.
Yes, sir. Love, you already know.